Hello. If you heard my phone for a second, it's because I always test to see if it's actually working on my phone. If I seem a little bit low energy, those of you who don't know, someone hit my car, and now I have like $8,000 of repairs to do. So, and I'm really, really horribly upset about it. So, yeah, I've had a really, really difficult time reconciling with that one. Gonna be super honest with y'all. So, yeah, I'm definitely not faring the best per se. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes or something. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell myself, but it's not good. Yeah, it's also just because I've been driving for not very long. And I did everything. I was just trying to change the lane. The light was red, the lines were dashed, there was nobody there, and then someone came out from behind me to try to get there in front of me and then hit my car. So I definitely, but it's affected me. Like, I have a lot of trauma around car accidents, so it's affected me really badly. Hold on. It's like not that bad. Like I said, there's like not even, the guy who hit me only has like a focused. There we go. The guy who hit me only has a dented headlight or a cracked headlight. So he hit me with a beater Honda Civic, my brand new 2023 GTI 40th anniversary edition. He hit because he wanted to get around me. So, yeah, I kind of want to commit die a little bit. Especially because, like, it took me 6 years to, like, get the chutzpah to get a driver's license, and then a month in, I get hit by a car, so. It's epic. It's super epic, and I've totally been eating and sleeping, like, definitely. Well, of course, I'm going to do my insurance. The only thing I do, you see how many views I get, at least you know I don't have 10 bands lying around to fix the car, okay? Like, let's keep it serious. So, yeah, like, I got hit by a car. Like, a guy rear-ended a car behind my brother's. So, oh, thank you so much, Debbie, for gifting the membership. That's actually very cute and endearing, and actually that is nice. Yeah, insurance will pay for it because it's like what it's for. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't. It's, like I said, it's a guy hit my car. So, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of the gifted memberships, members' audios will be returning. So, that is something to look forward to now that I have time to do things. For those of you who are new members audios are I just rant about my thoughts on like a personal level. For like 10-15 minutes over pictures of sad cat memes. And then so you just get to kind of know me a little bit more. And then also this video, like the world of t-shirts, I'm going to film today as well as the Matt Rife one. Matt Rife's going to be out as soon as I'm done editing it, pretty much. But then, or I'll probably finish editing Matt Rife tonight. And then I will, sorry, I'm sitting on something on my chair, sorry. I will finish editing the Matt Rife video, and then members will get it tonight if it's done. And then everybody else will get it like 1 p.m. So you only get like 6-7 hours or something. But this video, the world of t-shirt stuff, as soon as I'm done editing that, I'll have it out for you. But I don't want to put that out till like Friday. So members will probably get it a couple days in advance. Girl, you're saying I'm not scared to drive. I've already like thrown my license. I'm literally like, I'm not driving again. Like, ever. Like, I genuinely don't want to drive anymore already. Like, I'm just like... I haven't even gone outside, actually, if I'm gonna be, like, super, like... frank with y'all. Like, I haven't even left my house in, like, a week. Because I'm just, like, not... and not doing well. Anyway. Can I like... I should like Debbie's thingy, right? Can I do that? Oh. No? Okay, it's weird. Yeah. Anyways. So, here's what we're doing. I'm gonna make my... So I have a whole slew. Let me see, does it show up? Yeah, just give me a second. I have the... Like, I can use public transit. I live in, like, Montreal, which is, like, the best public transit in North America, second to, like, New York City, you know? So, it's, like, the public transit is excellent. It's just I wanted to visit my family and stuff, which also completely random. I'm going to turn the mic gain down because in my slew of sadness and issues, Gus ate the pop filter. He, like, bonked the mic while I was, like, wallowing, and then it fell off and he ate it, so... Anyway, yeah, moral of the story is, things are not always great in the Squish Gang house. Anyway, so I have a whole slew of content here for those who are here for the actual stream. I have Perk 30's Slow Decay of World of T-Shirts. We're watching this all on, like, 1.6-ish. Gotta get through these. And then we have the Daniel Larson documentary part 2. We're not watching 2 hours together. Don't worry too much. I just need to see the World of T-Shirts stuff. And we'll see what else is coming in here. We have the World of T-Shirts Reddit. We've got the World of T-Shirts, like, alcohol tracker guy. And then this is a paper that I found to reference through my university library. So, yeah. This is what we got going on today. All right, kids, let's try to get demonetized today because every single stream I ever do gets demonetized and then I don't. I sit here for, like, 3 hours making fun goofs and gaffs and then make, like... No, like $3 that someone super chats me. So let's try to get demonetized. Let's try to get through this whole thing. Now, I've already scripted the video. I've learned that what I should do with the research streams is figure out a timeline on my own and then see if I can do it justice to myself. Okay, so what I have right now is... So, I have... So, World of T-Shirts is somebody who has autism, and people have made, like, a sort of Lolcow figure, and, he was famous for videos about, like, how much he loved New York, and then people started egging him on, and then he did a trip to Cancun, when he started drinking, and then when he turned 21, he said he just became a full-blown alcoholic, making a fool of himself in New York City on TikTok. So, yeah, so then he's become skeptical because of his drunken meltdowns. For example, I could probably find one extremely fast if I just scroll back to the top. Him falling asleep on the subway. Oh, wait, sorry, it's muted.
I fell asleep on the A train and I ended up at the last stop.
But you can hear how drunk he is. That's like a pretty normal Tuesday afternoon for him. So I just go through, like, his fame, the path on TikTok, the spiral beginning in 2021. I have a couple of updates because a lot of the videos that talk about this are a bit older. Yes, one of his biggest catchphrases that he will sue or that he's banned. BANNED. What does that mean? I'm banned. Um, but then he's involved with this guy named Daniel Larson, who's really, really bad. Daniel Larson is essentially World of T-shirts, but with also autism, but some speculate schizophrenia. He's been diagnosed ADHD, autism, and bipolar before 14, and was neglected as a child and abused and put into foster care, where his grandmother ended up adopting him. Yeah, so essentially what this is talking about is this video is going to be reflecting on two people on the spectrum that the internet has made a point to take advantage of for their own entertainment. And like lolcow culture is how I'm kind of bringing in. There are 0 academic papers about lolcows. I looked in my University of Waterloo library proxy. I looked through the McGill library proxy. I looked through illicit.org's like AI generated search engine for finding research papers. There's nothing. So what I'm essentially going to be extrapolating from this older text that talks about the spectacle and the gathering around spectacle in rhetoric, and then as my kind of sum up of what's going on here. Anyway, this is the timeline I've made for Daniel Larson. This is the last thing I'm going to go through before we start watching the videos. I still put my makeup on and stuff. But I want y'all to know where we're at. I also don't know what SCP stands for. Secure, Contain, Protect. It's a creepypasta. Or no, copypasta, right? Okay. Anyway, so here's my timeline for Daniel Larson. March 30th, 2020, he started making TikToks. Small group of people found him and see how impressionable he is. And because Daniel Larson expressed a desire to make music. And he released, and his caretaker, a guy named Bob, bought him like whatever royalty free like backtracks or whatever to make music with, and then he put them on TikTok, and they were so, like sometimes, I don't know if any of you do this, but like you'll get a TikTok from like a boomer and it's just them in a filter not doing anything, and it has like 6 likes, and you send it to your friends because it's just so like bizarre. It was essentially that, but then with the song, because they were just so comically like, I think the first one had him like his head put on Sonic's body or something. And then they started saying, these people started DMing him fake record deals and saying that he's famous and started pretending like he's famous. Then they started calling, these people started referring to themselves as managers, and this boosted his ego so much to the point that he genuinely thought was trying to run for president. They leak his Pinterest, which contains pictures of young girls. He would duet TikToks of young girls. Trigger warning. Oh my God, I should have said this at the beginning. For everything. Like, I'm sorry if you're sensitive, get out. Like, it's not. We're not doing that right now. So, TikToks, duetting young girls, started having an obsession with Grace Vanderwall, who, if you don't know, is the singer of, she was a singer that was famous on America's Got Talent for being like 12 and having a really good voice. So if that gives you an idea of that sort of thing, I'm obviously using this very lightly because, again, as I said, try not to get demonetized for once. Pinterest contained an age of consent map, and he admitted to doing inappropriate actions looking at the images, then went on a sort of crazed set of tangents where he was going back and forth between the Pinterest being fake or not. TikTok managers convinced him to expose himself on a Zoom call, which allegedly included minors. This is what's claimed on Reddit. Spirals further and eventually exposes his genitals on 2 TikTok lives and his anus on another TikTok live. 3 accounts, all of which have been banned. The harassment online and people coercing him to do horrific things caused him to have meltdowns that resulted in him in losing housing on multiple occasions, including multiple issues with hotels and I think 1 or 2 apartments. The videos about Grace Vanderwall became so explicit and frequent that her mom sent him a DM demanding that he stops or they'll bring legal action. At some point during all of this, the World of T-Shirts guy, who is famous for screaming Empire State of Mind on Times Square, but now is another sort of Lolcow figure. The World of T-Shirts also has a guy that takes advantage of him, but as opposed to it being people commenting online, it's this guy in real life named Michael Quinn. So what happened was the managers of Daniel, the people who were commenting and pretending like they were going to give him record deals and stuff, convinced him. They started noticing the downward spiral of World of T-Shirts and then started convincing Daniel to make videos about how much he hates World of T-Shirts. And then they started having like a war that Michael Quinn was essentially fueling. So that's where that goes. We are talking about Daniel Larson and World of T-Shirts. So then I just look into, Michael Quinn. Michael Quinn is apparently a millionaire hot dog guy who also seems to own Feltman's hot dogs and was also a substitute teacher. But I don't know where the money's coming on from. And then I talk about lolcows and stuff. So that's... Lolcow is somebody who is like a train wreck, and people online build a community around essentially how bad their life is going. Sometimes it's figures that are bad people, like Foodie Beauty is an example. I was just talking about this with my boyfriend, where I was like, sorry, my lips are really chapped and it's hurting. But Foodie Beauty is an example of like someone who is like a bad person. So even though like essentially if you don't know about Foodie Beauty's like recent thing, like she's eaten herself into diabetes. Like like with the poor quality of food that she's been consuming and the lack of activity, she genuinely has like type 2 diabetes with blood sugar readings that are so high that the charts don't have them. Like, it's beyond the top of the chart that says go to the hospital immediately. But the thing with Foodie Beauty is she's also a bigoted, racist, horrible person and is neurotypical, right? So, with Foodie Beauty, it's like, okay, it's... For me, the reason why I kind of like to know is because she's also from like pretty close to where I grew up. So it's just kind of like a bit interesting. I'm going to move myself. Hold on. I don't like the Eugenia Cooney thumbnail. Here we go. Or can I do this? Oh, that's better. But yeah, like, essentially, like, with her or Amber Lynn, it's kind of like a you did this to yourself sort of thing. So there's a bit of... Sorry. With them, it's like more of a you're just watching people kind of represent like the downfalls of the societies they live in, just like gluttony and selfishness and vanity. And it's a bit different as opposed to these people who are literally being like manipulated by comment sections into doing like horrendous things. You know? And yeah, so there are forums and everything. I ended up on Kiwi Farms a little bit. I don't know how to. A lot of people have like said, you know, if you talked about Foodie Beauty ever, hold on, you're like a frequent user of the farms. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't even know how to peruse the farms. It doesn't even make sense to me. So if I'm ever looking at Kiwi Farms, it's like a link that I found straight from Google search. Like, so please don't cite my knowledge of things like Kiwi Farms because there isn't any. I don't even really know how it works. So yeah, so this Fun Machine's got a good point, right? So there's one side of the community that picks on neurotypical people who are just shitty, then a side that ruins the lives of people with mental disabilities. The problem with Daniel Larson is he's also like a predator. So yes, I with the people on the farms, it just doesn't hit. Yeah, so like I was reading the farms and there was comments about like essentially like I looked up like why do people care about these people, right? Because it's something that I genuinely will never understand. And like they're saying that they, like because people will be honest on that website unlike any level of honesty before, and they were essentially just saying like that they like the feeling of how is he girl while his Pinterest was exposed, pictures of young girls. He's exposed himself to people on multiple occasions. He has made moaning videos about Grace Vanderwaal. She was a minor. So, yeah, that's like. So here's what we're gonna do though. We're gonna start playing. We'll start with the slow decay of World of T-shirts because this is the most up to date one out of anything I've seen, and I want to get through it. We're playing it at 1.6. Cope and see if it's too fast. I need to get through these.
People online who get famous for no.
I will also start my makeup, and for those of you who are curious, I will show every product. Excuse me, in the camera, beauty guru style. Can I stop hiccuping for 5 seconds? Can I do like don't recommend me this? There we go. I'm so. It's okay, Anna. Anyway. No, world teacher. Real name is Joshua Block. Yeah. So now we're gonna start this, and I'm gonna start getting ready.
Reason and don't deserve it at all. And that makes our people whether disabled or simply.
I already know this video's too quiet, and so I'll use the. I don't know what it is about people who comment specifically on these two figures have the worst microphones on earth. Like their gain is on -30, and I don't understand.
Just weird that are only popular or viewed online because of those traits. These people tend to record all of their life online, not understanding that some things belong behind closed doors, or the true reason behind their high viewership. These people are referred to as Lolcows. These people are like reality TV shows in vlog form on social media, mainly seen on TikTok. Today I'm going to be talking about one known as World of T-shirts, or his government name, Joshua Block. World of T-shirts has been on TikTok for a while now, and is one of the biggest and most mainstream Lolcows, with 2.5 million followers on TikTok, and multiple interviews with people like Barstool, and just kind of seen if you like see TikToks on New York, you might see him in those, for just really no reason. Josh, as you can see, clearly has mental deficiencies. He's autistic, maybe he has more issues, I'm not completely sure, and his whole account and personality revolves around alcohol, being from New York, and a terrible joke that never sticks about him being banned on Tinder.
So I opened Tinder like one does.
Sorry if the audio's too loud. I think it's wait. Oh. My computer volume's on 30. That's sometimes, y'all. I'm not made for this.
What does BANNED mean?
That better?
He got popular off of singing Empire State of Mind by Alicia Keys, because you could guess he lives in New York. He also is quite obnoxious, as he yells the lyrics while recording himself in the middle of the busy city.
Yeah, in New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
as well as talks about how he's the king of New York, which every rapper from there claims to be, so he perfectly fits the New York stereotype. What also got him popular was he'd often dance in the middle of the public, and even licked random places in New York like the subway floor, which only gained him more attention and interaction online. Josh would end up becoming more obnoxious and take a dark turn, as when everything else went downhill, so did he during the 2020.
My
Josh would
window's
complain about
open
how
and
the 2020
snow's coming
restrictions
in.
were unconstitutional. Although this isn't really bad,
Hold on.
it'd be the start to a very toxic behavior. Josh would end up getting into a lot of situations, and some more just recently, on both his vacations in different countries and in New York. He's had multiple incidences of him being a nuisance in public and loudly speaking on his phone, as well as starting stuff and getting repercussions for it. His common splurges of nonsense are, "I'm living paycheck to paycheck," and other yapping nonsense you'll figure out soon. One incident would be in a subway where Josh would start talking about how he hates America
I'm also
and
gonna
claims he lives
put
paycheck to paycheck. He
the link to the video in the chat if anyone wants to look at it later.
was getting upset because the United States government was trying to ban TikTok at the time. He would say stuff very loudly, then when told to be quiet, he'd get into an argument with someone and then talk about how he was going to sue them while also calling them a bunch of names extremely loud while on the New York subway heading back home. Some people ended up just using him as entertainment and at the same time try to sort of calm him down. As, you know, this is New York. They probably see people crazy like him all day every day, so they just are really used to it and just decide to kind of poke a stick at it.
Humble 3 times on train. Country. There's nothing good for me in America. Stop telling me to shut up. I'm going home. Don't tell me to shut up. This is free country. I can do whatever I want.
No need to say that. All right.
I want to leave this country. I want to leave.
This is entirely random, but I also think uniquely American. Why do y'all always think that because you have freedom of speech, you have freedom of consequence? Like, you have the freedom to call me, like, a chunky monkey, but I have the freedom to call you a butthole. You know what I'm saying? It's always been a very strange thing. Like, I don't see that anywhere else. But, which I also think kind of bleeds into, like, why this culture ends up existing in the way that it does, I think.
I was born in a dictatorship. They're going to ban TikTok in the US. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? It's my only source of income. They're going to ban TikTok in the US. It's my only form of income. It's my only source of income. I can't do that. It's my only source of income. I live paycheck to paycheck. I'm sick. Shut the. I'll sue you for millions of dollars.
Oh yeah,
You know
that's
what?
the other thing.
You know what? I'm moving to a.
He always threatens to sue people. That's why somebody was saying that in the chat earlier. As an eagle and cheeseburger oh, I was like, what? Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
A different car. Jerk. I'll sue you. Jerk. You unemployed. Jerk. I'll sue. Unemployed. I'm gonna sue her, that jerk. I'll be suing. I'm suing him. Unemployed jerk. I'm suing. Emotional trauma and.
Oh wait.
I'll sue for harassment.
So one thing that people talk about a lot is his TikTok lives. He doesn't really go live anymore. So I will not really have that material for the video in the same way that other people do. But as of half an hour ago, the guy who seemingly has been taking the most advantage of him, Michael Quinn, has decided that what? My AirPod buzzed anyway. Has decided that he will be cutting Josh off of alcohol. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway.
Country. I want to leave. If I sue the girl for harassment, I'll be a millionaire. I won't be poor anymore. I'll just sue the girl for harassment. I won't be poor anymore. If she has a job, I'll garnish her wages. She had the audacity to tell me to you know what? I'll sue her for every dime she has. Like, she's talking about me. I'll sue her. I'll be suing her. Talking about me. Like, dude. Like, what did I ever do? What did I ever do to her? I can't.
That's another uniquely American thing. Yes, I'll sue you is another exactly. Like, So the thing I've realized the difference between Canada and America's legal system, so as far as I can understand, is in Canada, if you try to file like a very silly lawsuit, they'll just throw it out. Like the court will be like, actually, no. Actually, when I was talking to people about the whole car crash thing, they're like, oh, don't admit fault or anything, or they'll sue. They can sue, which it wasn't my fault, by the way. And I'm like, yes, but also, like, in Canada, you can't really, like, sue over car accidents like that. Like, especially if there's no injury. Like, you really can't. But in the States, it sounds like essentially anything can be filed, but then if it's silly enough, you just do an anti-slap instead. That's what I'm seeming to gather, anyway.
Sue her and be a multimillionaire. I can travel to any country I want when I want.
Joshua gets punched in the
I'll
face.
sue the government. You unemployed. I'll sue you. He punched me. He punched me. He freaking punched me. He punched me. He punched me. That guy punched me in the face. I'll sue him. I'll sue his unemployed. Then I can go to Paris. I can travel to any country I want, and I won't have to work anymore. This guy punched me in the face. I'm suing him. I'm gonna sue him for assault.
So now do we understand all the references that some person was making in the chat about going to France and suing people? This is very entrenched in the lore of this whole ordeal. So, also, Jaden and Gus are in the office now, so we'll see. I don't know if they can hear you, but yeah. So that's what's going on.
I'm gonna sue him for $1 million and go to France. This guy punched me in the face. The guy punched me.
Who punched you?
Some guy punched me.
I was watching your live. Nobody fucking punched you.
Yeah, he did. He punched me.
It says Vienna at the bottom.
Nobody punched you.
Yeah, he did.
Nobody punched you. Keep that off.
Don't tell me what to do.
Go to sleep at 3 in the morning. Shut up.
You unemployed. You unemployed. I'll sue you for harassment.
Question for the Americans, which is most people in this chat always. Do the subways in like New York run like 24 hours? Like, genuine question, because if they're saying it's 3 in the morning, like, and he looks like he's on the subway, because I know like in Montreal they don't run, like they close at like 1 and open back up at like 5:30. Just a random question.
Harassment.
So they run 24 hours? That's epic.
New York
Actually,
without
I
getting
love
harassed.
that.
I can't go to New York City without getting harassed. Every time I go to New York, I get harassed.
There was also other breakdowns he had in New York,
Ooh,
like
this
one where
is
he went
also
up to a
good.
car, hit it, and then ran away as they chased him, as well as in the same night, I believe, he got really mad and just ran up to people and started screaming, and I think he was trying to scare them or act like he was going to hit them or planned on hitting them. It's very weird.
I got it.
I also want to say that I know my foundation looks horribly yellow. I try to convince myself that there was a shade match for me in NARS foundation that runs criminally yellow, and I am very much a cool-toned, medium-skinned girly, so not looking ideal, but yes, so for those of you who are asking, this guy literally just posts on TikTok. Like, TikTok is, I think that's what makes him like unique in these sorts of conversations. Where's my brow lift brush? There we go. That makes him unique in these sorts of conversations because like people tend to think of like Chris Chan, right? And like this is another thing I'm gonna tell y'all right out the gate. I will never do a video on Chris Chan. I know nothing about that person. I don't, and that's staying that way. Okay? Like, I am not, no. Respectfully, no. So, that's just an FYI to y'all. But like, what makes him unique, Josh, right, is that he's on TikTok. And TikTok is mostly kids. And people tend to like people on there are not really like, for lack of a better term, like used to this sort of behavior. It's not something that like, and in sense of the behavior, I mean like the people tracking it and archiving it and all that kind of stuff. So it's become a sort of spectacle on TikTok, which also is like, again, it's just a new way of life for them. And I think the level of like cruelty in TikTok comments is like very, very high compared to, let's say, like YouTube now. And I think this is where people are moving to, because YouTube's like crackdown on the comments to an extent that like most other platforms haven't, you know? Like some people will literally like, Gus, stop. Oh my god. This is why I didn't want you in the office while I'm doing stuff. You always try to eat my Ethernet cables. Stop. But so the thing is, right, too, like I find like the Lolcow connoisseurs, from the people that I've met online and that people that know about different types of people, they tend to be a bit older. Like the people that are into the Lolcow stuff are not like 16, you know? But then when we're talking like TikTok, they are. So this is like a different way, and I think a lot of people, like these kids, in regards to like Daniel Larson and World of T-shirts, are not really sure of the consequences yet of how far they're gonna press these people.
He'd also end up getting super upset if you took his hat, which has happened multiple times, and some of those times were whenever he was out of the country, like in Iceland.
I may as well forget about it and enjoy the rest of my vacation. It's no big deal. I didn't get robbed or anything. I peed my pants. I got blackout drunk, and I woke up to a big pile of vomit that day. Whoa! Why did you take it? Get back here, you little thing! Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Ow! Why? Can you give it back? Please! Please!
Josh Josh goes live on TikTok a lot. Well, he used to. And would get a ton of like donations and stuff. And then I think there was also some sort of cash app. Plus, this Michael guy is allegedly a millionaire, and his parents seem to have like a decently. I can't tell if I'm out of focus or I just look that ghostly. Anyway, his parents seem to have like seem to be like somewhat kind of well off ish. So he's gone on a couple vacations. Like he's gone to Rome. He's gone to I am out of focus. He's gone to like a couple of other I definitely am. What's doing that? Bestie. Why does that always work? Anyway. So it just seems like, there was just different ways to generate income for him. This is giving James Charles matching foundation levels anyway.
Oh my god. He tried to steal it again. Oh my. How did he end up in Iceland? He tried to steal my hat again. I don't know. He just pulled it off and threw it. What? I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I can see why.
I'm suing! I'm suing! I don't want my vacation spoiled again. Why would he do that to me?
Just troll you, I think.
But this is Iceland.
Yeah, I know.
How did he get here? It was the same person.
Oh, he probably lives here.
Why would he do that? He threw it on the... Why would he do that to me? I thought I was safe here and I barely any vacations. I will sue everybody involved in this scheme. I'm really pissed off. The guy stole it again. It had to have been the same person. How the heck did he get to Iceland? How did he get to Iceland? Well, he lives in New York. He pulled the same thing twice on me. It had to have been. It's not a coincidence. What? Where's the hat? Where's the hat? Where? Right, you're right. You're right. Where is it? I was wearing it and someone stole it. Where? Oh, God.
No, like some people, like especially on YouTube live stream, make like crazy money in super chats. I remember at the very, very start of my YouTube career, for lack of a better term, is I was sort of like involved with like atheist breadtube, right? And the Jimmy Snow / non sequitur show nonsense. And I remember people were making, like, when the non sequitur show was running, the channel only had 32. Like, I've passed the subscribers of that show, but like they would do lives and there would be $1,000 super chats. And I'm just like, huh? And I'm not sure what about that particular community like brings in those types atheist bread. That's just me being ridiculously online and not touching enough grass. But by that atheist breadtube I mean like sort of leftist Christians are evil kind of content. Where they're like the debunking stuff, you know? Like they're always debating, they're always doing like that type of stuff, you know? Anyway, I started finding out about like this guy that Jimmy Snow worked with named Steve McRae, and then this channel that they had that Jimmy had like kind of messed with, and then I felt really bad, and I was looking at old I did another Jimmy Snow video where I talked about this. It's like the where are they now one, like the last one I did. And but it turns out, so like I said, they were getting like $1,000 super chats. They were keeping a living on this like 30,000 subscriber channel because people found it to be sort of a necessary resource kind of thing, right? So then people were supporting themselves through that, and then there was a whole fight over the channel and like legal stuff and all that kind of thing, and the channel ended up dying because the guy Steve McRae ended up getting in a fight with his someone who works for him, who essentially like put her whole life on the line for him, almost like was doing PR stuff, was doing design stuff, all under the promise that essentially she could get compensated down the line when the channel started generating revenue. And then he was kind of like, well, I'm not going to give you any money until the legal fees are paid off. And she's like, well, I didn't agree to that. That's an expense that you took on and didn't tell me about. And then there was this huge fight and everything. But what I'm trying to make a point of is that there are communities, like niche communities like these, where people can like live off of like chat donations. If we go back to FFG from like who's related to Foodie Beauty in the sense of that she is a reaction channel, she'll get like several $100s a day in like super chats, right? That will never be me. I don't think I make the type of content that's sort of like bridges on that like sort of sense of necessity in that regard, which is fine. But she yeah, it's FFG will makes like enough to live on, even though she only has like 12,000 subs or something because of chat revenue. So if people like that can make an income, a guy with 2.5 million followers plus like the subreddit for this guy has like 50,000 members. So there's obviously like a ton of people watching him. I'm sure from the people that feel bad for him, from the people that are egging him on, etc., there's enough money generated. Well, you get there also is allegations of like pretty severe credit card debt as well.
Somebody stole it! Who would want to steal a Help me! Help! Get it back, please! Help! 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 Please get it back! Please! Please! Help! Get it back! Help me! Help! Oh my God! Can you give it? Give it back! Oh my God! You did it!
There's another drama I could talk about where he was tricked from a cameo. He was like kind of tricked into saying the N-word or like a word like the N-word, and supposedly he was getting canceled over it or something. I don't really know if people really cared or not, or if people were just trolling him to think he was getting canceled. But he had a whole meltdown. This was in New York.
Trying to cancel me over cameo?
This is gonna get more publicity.
You unemployed. I'll sue your parents. I'll sue their grandparents. I'll be working a 9 to 5 at 90 years old with a walking cane.
Living paycheck to paycheck.
Living paycheck to paycheck. Because I'll come after their retirement funds. Emotional damage, loss of income, loss of enjoyment of life. I'm a billionaire.
I'll get you the best lawyer in New York City.
Good. You have millions of dollars.
I know, a lot of them.
I don't have to find a contingency lawyer. You have to pay for a retainer.
Yeah, of course. I'll take care of it for
Yeah.
you. I'm the only one who takes care of Josh. No one else does. I set up with Cameo.
Such a good
No,
one.
that's the Michael guy, by the way, who claims he does all of this to like take care of Josh, but I think, and we all kind of know, way more intervention would have been done way earlier if that was actually the case, you know?
Cameo.
The only one who cares for Josh is me, Michael Quinn. No one else. No one else. Tell him.
No one else. Michael Quinn is my mentor.
This is
See
the
that?
pink one.
I'm using you. I'm not using Josh.
Unemployed.
You have to follow me.
You can't cancel me.
No one else gets you the job opportunities. No one else but me
No,
right here.
he told me to say the N-word. Snowflake. I didn't know it was racist.
You're the paycheck to
I would paycheck to paycheck.
Funky monkey. Porch. That funky monkey.
If I get canceled on TikTok, I need to go myself.
You're the paycheck to paycheck.
I would paycheck to paycheck.
There's also other times where he's just been obnoxious and loud and like in public. But here's that as well.
This isn't the entrance to the highway.
No.
What's wrong?
You're screaming. What are you doing?
Sorry.
Yeah, you said be sorry. Be quiet.
Be quiet?
No, yeah.
We're doing stuff here.
What are you doing? You're gonna be quiet. Okay.
Okay.
Listen now.
Sorry, I'll stop you yelling. They think this is freaking monotonous. Look what the sign says. Do not mess with. Do not.
He's also called someone the N-word. Personally, I don't care, but I think it's just interesting.
Bro.
You also can't forget that
The-
Joshua
the
in June of 2021
whoa.
would end up stomping on a fish carelessly and smiled and laughed while doing so. When criticized about it online, he tried to say that he was set up by the person recording and was told it was dead beforehand. Don't know how it makes it any better, but to add on, he asked people to stop talking about the situation and to forget it happened.
Well, this is the
He also
other
claimed he
reason I
couldn't-
kind of wanted to cover this video too, right? Is like everyone who's commentated on this person is are like Leafy clone channels, right? So I want to try to bring maybe eyes to this whole kind of tragedy in like the grander commentary sphere. Cause like respect Perk 30 or whatever, but like, you know.
be
Anyway.
cancelled because he is a quote-quote monopoly in the category of NYC roaming videos on TikTok. He made an apology video and talked about it on a TikTok live. Here's both of those.
So a lot of people are upset about a leaked video of me stomping on a fish. First of all, the fish was already dead. The person who recorded me recorded me without my permission. They didn't pay the cameo, so they weren't even supposed to record me, but they posted it to set me up, so that they would have an excuse to try and cancel me. I did not kill anything. The fish was already dead.
Kiki, that's funny.
Yeah, okay, I apologized. Why don't we just end it? Stop with the cancel culture. I'm down like 8,000 followers because of it. Like, why? Why are you doing this? I apologized. I knew it was wrong, and it was dead in the first place. The guy was just lying that it was not dead. Look, I was set up. I was set up. He recorded it and posted it as an excuse to try and cancel me. I was laughing because it was a dead fish, okay? And I apologized for smashing it. Why don't you just forget about it?
Also,
You know, stop.
he's apparently like, he got so drunk that he jumped in the Hudson River. Which, like, apparently the Hudson River is like the grossest water ever. So, anyway.
Hating on me. Stop trying to get me canceled. Stop doing whatever you're doing. Okay, I'm sorry. I sincerely apologize. Just end it. Can't you end it? I'm the only account that roams New York City on a consistent basis. You guys can't cancel me. I have a monopoly going on.
He's the New York guy. I'm gonna put the video link in chat again just so it's there.
I don't deserve to be canceled. It happened to me at 900K, and I was sick. I was literally sick mentally. Because I saw how many fans were leaving. They were a bunch of fake fans that were just blocking me, boycotting me, unfollowing, whatever they were doing. Now I have to call a frickin' cab to get to the station. I hope I don't miss the 2 o'clock train.
Okay, now I need...
You guys can't... Yeah, I'm the only account that roams Manhattan on a consistent basis. We have a monopoly going on. You cancel me, there's gonna be no more New York City vlogs. You cancel me, there's gonna be no more New York City vlogs, because I'm the only account that does this.
I have a question for the chat, actually, because it's an interesting thing that you've brought up. Who said that? Maria. Like, if people like the gameplay commentary YouTubers and stuff are the sort of low-hanging fruit, what's the top? Like, is Pinnacle like those, like the Right Opinion, like crazy essayist, like masterpieces? I just want to know.
Like, this is... I stepped on a dead fish, and he accused me of killing the fish and posted it. Like, and I apologize for stepping on it at all. You know, I know it was wrong. I know it was wrong to step on a dead fish. But okay, why don't we move on? You know what I'm saying? Stop hating on me. Stop trying to cancel me. Don't unfollow, don't block, don't leave hate comments, don't do any of that. Let's just move on. I'm very sorry. Okay? Think twice before you try to cancel me, because there's going to be no more New York City vlogs if I end up getting canceled, because I'm the only channel that does this type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we are moving on. I'll just...
Oh boy, Sasha, girl. Oh boy. Someone catch them up. Sorry. This is a new kind of Lolcow phenomenon type thing that I found of two people who are on the autism spectrum being like grossly taken advantage of by people around them, but they're also kind of bad people at the same time. Dilemma.
I did post a video. I did, okay, yeah, I know that was wrong for me to step on a dead fish. Now, yeah, get over it. If you don't like me, you shouldn't be on this. You shouldn't have downloaded this app. If you don't like people, you shouldn't have had this downloaded TikTok to begin with. You shouldn't have followed me to begin with if you didn't like me. Like, it's very weird.
You shouldn't have been watching my if you didn't like me. You shouldn't have even watched my if you're not a real fan, why did you even watch my It's weird. This happened to me back at 900K. This time I'm actually canceled for a reason. When I was at 900K and I lost a ton of followers, I didn't know what was going on. But still, it's a stupid reason.
Completely random, but I can't decide. Eyeshadow palettes. I have Natasha Denona. I have Bronze and Zendo. Beauty Bay Wilderness. Makeup by Mario, but like the holiday one. Juvia's Place Zulu. Avatar Last Airbender Colourpop. Mice Cosmetics Flower Bomb. Or this little thing. But if this or the Yoda, it's going to be green. Or pick a color for the eyeshadow. I can't decide. So I'll do my bronzer while the chat makes my decisions for me.
Reason. It's a stupid reason. I am the king of New York. I made one little mistake, and it wasn't even that bad. If I have to... I'm gonna report every single person that left hate comments on my video, and every single account that has me blocked or unfollowed.
Okay, Makeup by Mario sounds like
I'll
the vibe.
report
Okay,
those
that's cool. I
accounts
don't
and
use
get
that
them
one that
banned
often.
from this app.
Okay, so yeah, Makeup by Mario sounds like the one we're gonna go for. I don't use it that often for the channel, but when I work, I use it all the time because it's like a neutral palette. This is what I'm working with. So, I have the one from last year, which is obviously the same, but this palette is excellent. But I will say, low key, like one look comes out of this girl. Like, not much going on here. Anyway, I will do as fun of a look as I can while this continues.
Yeah, tell people to forget it. Tell people to man up and live with it. I made one little mistake. I apologize. That should be the end of it, right? Not according to these jerks. Yeah, okay. This time I'm getting canceled for a real reason. The last time, when I had like 900K and I lost like a bunch of... I didn't know what was going on. But still, it's stupid. It's a stupid reason. Like, it's a stupid... It's happening for a stupid reason. I didn't kill a fish. It was already dead. I didn't kill anything. It was dead already. He framed me. I apologize. Why is this still... Why are you still hating on me? I don't understand it. If I have to, I'll report every single account that has left a hate comment or has me blocked or unfollowed.
So I understand that the TikTok donations are like pennies, but constantly, right? Every second he's on, he's getting like 10 cents, right? So it's gonna add up eventually. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what's going on there.
Or isn't following me. Because I'm not playing games anymore. Yeah, I can. If you're trying to cancel someone for no reason, that's bullying, and I can report you for that and get you banned. If you're trying... Canceling is a form of bullying. I'll report every single account that isn't following me. I'll report every single account that is not following me, has me blocked, or left hate comments on my videos. I'm also checking my DMs, so I'll report those too. You try to cancel me, you're gonna get your account banned. Where's the frickin' cab? I don't want to miss the train. I'll report those too. I didn't do anything. Like, I stomped on a dead fish. Like, okay? I apologized too. I'm just gonna end the live. It's pointless.
If you can't tell by his live stream, his attitude, and how he acts by now, he's a very cocky, loud, obnoxious, and ego-filled person. This behavior only got worse with time, as he has now recently gotten popular for just yelling at people on his phone in public, and talking about how he lives paycheck to paycheck, despite going on 3 vacations this year, at least so far. One in Iceland, one in Paris, and one in Rome. These are all pinned on his TikTok account, by the way. So when he's talking about living paycheck to paycheck, and immediately having a pinned post, 3 of them, 3 vacations, not at all. You're not like the average American. There's been multiple recorded live streams on TikTok showing this awful behavior, and all these get him more attention. But the main point of this video was to talk about his drinking. I talked a little about it earlier, but his drinking is the most recent big issue, as he has a drinking problem and has for a while now. But it's only proceeding to get worse, as he is drinking earlier and earlier, and you can notice in his TikToks or live streams early in the day, he is shaking. He has, like, you know, the shakes.
Them fresh morning jitters, if you will.
He also goes live and records TikToks of
He's
himself drinking
still
every day.
okay.
And all
Hold
night.
on. So Maria says that there's also a fact that he's not work, and when he worked, it was a tour guide. This is the easiest, most reliable way to earn money. He still does the tours. Like, I found the site for them, and you can literally book ones for December 7th, 8th, and 9th. So despite his like state of like constant inebriation and stuff, he's still doing the tours, which is like wild.
Just to do it again the next day. With getting what I assume to be government checks, as well as some from TikTok and YouTube, and living with family, he can feed his alcoholism 24/7. This has been the talking subject on TikTok, as a lot of people, when realizing the issue going on, started making TikToks about it. Josh and his drinking problem reached audiences of whole different genres of content on TikTok, and people who don't even know who he or Lolcows are. Some people say he is drinking to cope with autism, and I will play a TikTok here from a girl with autism that describes what he might be going through to a T.
Drinking to help with autism. I don't know anything about autism, so I don't want to speak on it.
I'm diverting from the lighthearted nature of my usual content. I've seen a few people talk about this Josh guy and his very public struggle with alcoholism. I haven't seen that many people talk about how he's drinking to help with autism. I'm really glad this guy brought it up. He said he doesn't know anything about autism, so he doesn't want to speak on it. I'm here, I'm going to speak on it because it's something that needs to be acknowledged and talked about. It's something that I've struggled with immensely in my life. I 100% believe that autistic people are more at risk for alcoholism and drug addiction, things like that. And I think it's more common for people who went most of their lives undiagnosed, or who maybe were diagnosed earlier on, but didn't have access to the resources they needed in order to learn how to navigate a world that works against how our brains are wired. When you go your entire life feeling like you don't fit in anywhere, like you are a literal alien, like you are not a person compared to the people around you, when you're someone who has pushed themselves to complete exhaustion, trying to make sure that those people don't also see you as an alien, it becomes subconscious. You start doing it whether you want to or not, and now you're trapped in this cycle of masking yourself into a burnout, dealing with that burnout, and then going out and doing it again. It becomes really easy to pass off all control to this substance that mutes the deafening, screaming voice in your head, constantly telling you that you're doing everything wrong, you're saying everything wrong, you're not supposed to be here, you have no place here. And then you're in an environment like a bar where everyone else around you is also on this substance that limits their ability to comprehend the social standards they have pushed onto you forever. It gives you the sense of relief that you're finally on an even playing field with these people for the first time in your life. You remain at the mercy of this thing that's become very sinister very quickly, because you feel like you have 2 options. You can either pump your body full of it from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, so you don't have to deal with the consequences of sobering up and realizing nothing's actually changed about the way that you are and the way the world sees that, or you can let it go and continue grasping at straws in your everyday life just to feel like you have a purpose or like you fit in somewhere, anywhere. And then when you're in a position like Josh, where you are kind of thrust into this public eye and in turn forced into kind of a constant social interaction. For a lot of autistic people, we really latch on to structure and the way things are, the way things are supposed to be, the way we're supposed to be when in a certain position. This influencer mentality has taken root in your brain, and you feel like you need to be this social figure, and the only place you feel comfortable doing that is in a bar. Thankfully, I've been able to get kind of a handle on my drinking. I still struggle with it when I'm in any sort of social situation. The only thing I'm thinking about is how do I get a drink in me to make this more tolerable. But there are periods of my life in the past, months, weeks, whatever, that are completely blank because I was not sober for any of it. It leads to a lot of embarrassment, a lot of regret. You start to lose who you are. You feel like you're questioning kind of your morality, you're questioning your purpose. The bottom line is that Joshua is a human being who has lost his sense of self, who has a skewed perception of the world around him, and these people in his circle, to them, he's comedic relief. He's a character. He's the butt of some cruel joke that makes them feel better about themselves when they wake up sober in the morning and realize that they got so drunk the night before that they were experiencing a sort of social disconnect from like normal social structure that we have dealt with our whole lives. And I can guarantee you, I don't know much about Josh, but he's probably not stupid. He's probably very painfully aware of this. Most of us are. And it probably weighs on him heavily. But he probably feels like he has no other options. And how could you feel like you have no other options when this thing is working for you in your career, in your social life? People love watching this content of him getting drunk and embarrassing himself on the internet. It's really sad. And I really hope that he's able to get out of it.
The thing is, he has always been out there. He's always been very loud in public, doing whatever, and being carefree and not caring about what other people think of him, which is something I think comes with living in New York or going there every day like he does. So I don't really know or think he cares about fitting in much at all. He might, though. It might be something he talks about in his TikTok lives or videos. I'm not an expert in them, but in my personal opinion, I think he simply just started drinking, liked it, became dependent, and started drinking more and more. There's even now an account on TikTok that goes over all the drinks Josh has in a day, even going into details about the cost, the calories, what time these were drank, how many drinks they count for, and his blood alcohol level and the time he should be sober. And from looking at the account at the time of recording this, Josh has been recently on a bender and has not been completely sober in days. And there are drinks he is most likely or definitely not keeping on record, so the amount of every detail could be higher than given in the videos.
Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know?
Warning. Drinking this amount and this often is dangerous and will lead to alcohol dependency. Do not do this at home. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. Real quick, before we jump into the drink recap for yesterday, the 23rd, I have some new updates to the spreadsheet requested by a handful of you guys. So now the drinks, the added BAC, the current BAC, spent, and calorie columns will all now be color-coded. The colors are based off of a heat map of the min and max values for those columns across the entire month. This way, we'll be able to see on every daily recap how his day was compared to his month in general. I made this change for the entire sheet, so let's take a look at 2 of his previous days so you guys can kind of get a better idea of what this is going to look like. So this was November 15th. This was one of his lightest days, and you can kind of just tell that by looking now because this chart is mostly green, which means generally good, or at least better. And you can tell based off of the color at 7 p.m. that it's kind of a bad hour, but in general, the day was pretty good. Now, let's take a look at the 17th, a couple days later, which was his worst day of the month. I think you guys know the day that I'm talking about. Yeah, this one. So here we can see the BAC column is green for 1 hour, and it's just yellow, orange, and red for the rest. This is also a pretty cool way to see how his BAC ramps up and ramps down throughout the day. You can also see, for example, 10 p.m. was his worst hour, where he had 4.5 standard drinks. You can really see how that 1 hour affected like the next 8 hours of his night just by looking at the BAC column. Anyways, thanks for the comments and suggestions. I'm always open to feedback. Let me know what you think about this change in the comments. On to the drink recap for yesterday, the 23rd. Starting the day off at 5 p.m., we have what looks to be a 200 milliliter Fireball for 4 standard drinks, $6 and 600 calories. Shortly after at 6 p.m. we got a beer in the park for 1.5 standard drinks, $16.
Yeah, RE, the autism stuff, I think it's a bit weird for the guy to try to figure it out on his own, despite like it's an autistic person being like, hey girl, this is a thing that happens. Like, just because people aren't saying something doesn't mean that it's not there. You know, it's a bit of a strange, definitely a strange approach, I will agree.
And 300 calories. Just an hour later, we have a solo pitcher at 7 p.m. for 5 standard drinks, $22 and 500 calories. When Josh gets pitchers like this, I assume he doesn't drink the whole thing in an hour. To be fair, I usually spread it over the course of 2 hours, so if you see 7 and 8 p.m., they both have 2.5 standard drinks each, and the costs and calories and everything else is split up as well. And his last post of the night at 10 p.m., we got a Tall Boy Mike Starter Lemonade in a paper bag for 4 standard drinks, $6 and 500 calories. Today was a moderate day of drinking. Looking at his totals for the day, he had a total of 14.5 standard drinks, had a max BAC of 0.24, spent a total of $50.
14 is moderate. 14 drinks is moderate. I don't think I've had 14 drinks ever. Maybe an entire day I'll have like 10 if I'm like partying really hard.
1,900 calories. He also had an average BAC of 0.10 and spent a total of 5 hours sober.
Michael Quinn, a known leech of people with special needs on TikTok, made a TikTok of Josh, and in this TikTok, Josh claims that Michael and his family want him to cut down on drinking, and he plans to do so.
So my family wants me to cut down on the drinking. Quinn agrees, and I'm going to do my best to keep the drinks at a manageable level responsibly.
Whether he will actually do this or not is unknown. It might be a long time before he actually does it. Maybe he'll never stop. We don't know. It's like that one friend saying he's going to quit vaping or smoking, and I feel like a lot of people in real life, that people that are watching this video, have some same experience of someone that says they're going to stop drinking or smoking, and they just continuously do so. The big question is, how likely is it he's truly going to stop? I don't think so at all, and I'll get more into that later. Despite Josh still drinking early in the day and still posting about it, Michael Quinn has been around and seems not to help at all, despite claiming he is so helpful to Josh in multiple TikToks. Also, just to add this in here as a little extra segment, Josh was also doing some tour of some sort, and here's a TikTok of it. I think it also kind of talks about like possibly more he's drinking off camera.
Yeah, so he's gonna be introducing here the current leg of New York City tours, and one of them, interestingly enough, is a New York City nightlife tour. So we can imagine what goes on in that one.
And talks like, if you don't know, Josh did this like little tour thing, and just yeah, it's weird. I don't know who would really go on it, but here's the video.
So I went on the World of T-Shirts, East Village, and Brooklyn tour experience, and this is how it went. Okay, so firstly, I want to show you the waiver that I had to sign before I went on the tour because I just hilarious. So even after finding out that there's a high risk of me dying or becoming paralyzed, I still decided to go on the tour. You know what? So online it says the tour is $30, so I paid that. But when I showed up, he said there was $20 more that I owed, and that the 30 is just a deposit. Doesn't say that anywhere on the website. Pretty sure he made it up on the spot. But anyways, we started the tour off by him singing us a song. Then he took us to this bar called McSwirlies, where he bought us each one drink and filmed a TikTok with us. Then he brought us to the subway, and the rest of the group ended up leaving. So it was just me and him on a cute little date night. Then we go to another bar in Brooklyn. Same thing. He gets us each one drink, but he gets us high noons this time. And this is how I realized why we paid the $20 in cash at the beginning, because he uses the cash to buy us the drinks that are supposed to be included in the $30 tour. But since people ditched, he had more money to spend on just two of us, so we could splurge on high noons instead of cheap beer. We went back to the subway. He kind of got into an altercation. This is him dragging me away from the scene. Then as soon as we get off the subway, he starts pissing in somebody's front yard immediately. Almost gets in another altercation. We ended the tour in the liquor store, of course. Then I got to witness him making one of his famous downing a nip in the middle of the street style videos, live and in person. Dreams really do come true.
It seems that Josh is going down the Daniel Larson route. If you don't know who Daniel Larson is, check out my ongoing series on him. Also, if you're wondering when the next episode is going to be, personally I have no idea. Maybe in the next month or so. I'm waiting for him to do more. But to go on, Josh is going down a dark road, and to be honest, it's entertaining. It's like reality TV, but on TikTok, and you never know what's coming next. Is he going to have another breakdown? Is he going to do another just drinking video? How much is he going to drink? Is he going to black out? And so on and so forth. He's had multiple incidences where he's caused trouble or got trolled, and it's just entertaining and funny. I'm not going to act like I care about him or like him, because truly I don't. He means nothing to me. But with the continued drinking, it's going to affect his health in multiple ways, and we'll just have to wait and see when those effects will kick in. Not going to lie, I'm super curious to see what happens next, as he's starting to drink like all day and not be sober all day.
I don't understand how people who make these videos can literally just have like no empathy at all. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, oh, I don't care about him and he means nothing to me, and like I don't care what happens to him. It's like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. You know? Jay, what's happening is we are doing essentially a sort of Lolcow analysis video on World of T-Shirts and Daniel Larson.
He's not really acting foolish yet, or at least not on his TikToks. I'm truly curious about what's going to happen next, as something has to happen if he's been drinking a lot. I wonder what's next and how downhill he's going to go. But that's the end of the video. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Personally, I don't think he'll ever stop drinking as long as he has free will. It's just so unlikely and so, like, kind of impossible in a way. Unless he runs out of money, which I don't think will ever happen, as Lolcows are literally given money just to go do more crazy stuff. And in this case, it's his drinking. They want to see him black out and stuff. I don't really like drinking or the effects it can have on the people who do it and what effects it can have on the people around them. So if you are told you need to chill on it and you know you have a problem, please make an attempt to change, as every day you make progress is a huge step forward to a good future. But with all that said, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Again, comment what you all think about this in the comments down below. What do you think is next? What, like, issues are going to be coming up? Thank you all for 7,000 subscribers. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, and I hope you all were safe on Black Friday and didn't get mugged or, you know, beat up. And in the end, I'm Perk 30.
Okay. So now we move on to the Daniel Larson documentary, Trigger Warning for Everything. Okay? Like, minor stuff, just depressing circumstances, ableism, like everything. Okay? But please keep giving your thoughts in the chat, because I do like to know kind of what your thoughts are on this whole thing. Now, Daniel Larson, because this is part 2, okay? I should not do my eyeliner when I do this, actually. Part 2. So Daniel Larson is someone who was abused in his home, got moved in his childhood to foster care, adopted by his grandma. This probably starts at yeah, see, look, doxing, racism, anti-Semitism, animal neglect, violence, pedophilia, IRL, and cyberbullying, and mental illness. Where does it start? Okay, so this is gonna start at this year. Yeah, it's gonna be a sad story, and it's just about somebody who's been horribly taken advantage of online by trolls and has a lot of mental illnesses, and it's essentially like, but he's also has issues that are kind of not able to be like reconciled with, I think. And yeah, so there's essentially this sort of divided community around him and a bunch of people who just egg him on all the time. But this guy is far more in a worse state than World of T-Shirts is.
For those of you who are subscribed to my channel, the name Daniel Larson is likely familiar to you. His story is a harsh one.
This one is way louder than the other one.
Delving into the dark intersection of social media and mental illness. It's a narrative that traces the transformation of an innocent child into a monstrous figure, stripped of everything and everyone. I previously covered Daniel's life in a comprehensive documentary on my channel, which not only became my most popular video by a wide margin, but also stands as one of the most thorough accounts of his tumultuous journey available on the internet. Initially, I hesitated to create a direct sequel to my original Daniel video for various reasons. I wanted to wait for the right moment to revisit his timeline and pick up where I left off. However, in the mere 3 months since the release of my documentary, a whirlwind of events has unfolded in Daniel's life. New significant figures have emerged, intricately weaving themselves into the fabric of his story. Driven by an insatiable thirst for love and fame, Daniel embarked on a journey across the United States, finding himself entangled in shocking, disturbing, and absurd situations. In this second installment of my documentary, we will once again immerse ourselves in Daniel's world, exploring his recent escapades and turbulent travels as he transverses the nation. Brace yourself for encounters with adversaries and unexpected alliances. Before we dive into the depths of Daniel's current narrative, I want to remind you, the viewer, that this video is a direct continuation of my previous Daniel video, the Daniel Larson documentary. If you have not watched it or are not up to date with the events in Daniel's life as of March 2023, I highly recommend you watch it to familiarize yourself with the context. Many of the events in this video require a solid understanding of the preceding events, so it's essential to catch up before delving into this installment. Furthermore, I must provide a warning. The contents of this documentary will contain extremely sensitive and disturbing material. If you are sensitive to any of the listed topics displayed on the screen, this video, along with my previous one, may not be suitable for you. Viewer discretion.
I think it's so wild to me. I'll come back. Hello. There we go. That like, look how little subscribers this person has, and look how popular this video is. Right? It's like genuinely so wild. 354,000 views, 70,000 subs. So like, this is just something that anyone and anybody, seems like the whole world knew about this person except for me, is what I'm kind of coming along with here. So this is definitely going to be an interesting video to tackle, or it's just going to completely flop, and that's fine. But I'm just noticing that with this, it's like people I've like never seen, never heard of, anything, are making these like huge pieces that get like tons of views. It's like people are really set on what this guy's about, and I think that's such an interesting thing.
Is advised. With that being said, I am Kusari, and welcome to the Daniel Larson documentary, part 2.
Daniel is missing, and supposedly he's in the hospital as someone said they worked near the Las Vegas Strip and saw an ambulance take a man who looks like Daniel. I wonder what will be the end of this whole thing.
Okay, hello everyone. I am okay. I was in another attack. I will try to keep everyone updated. Stay tuned. Hello everyone. So I have made it to Tucson, and now I am about to get ready to head to El Paso, Texas.
And apparently he's trying to take a trip all the way to New York City. And he's going to make it there by hook or by crook, by begging for it or by sneaking on to the wrong bus.
This is a shout out to Joshua, World of T-shirts. I'm still waiting for the boxing match. We'll have that in 2023. We're on the phone with police. I'm not fucking desperate. You guys take that seriously.
I can make it anywhere. Unlike Daniel, he made it 10 hours and then he got punched in the nose here. I'm the captain of the ship.
I'm sorry. I'm going to hell for that. I know. It's just the punch in the nose is just so funny to me as like a concept.
New York! I want the same thing!
Into the police department that you guys are not cooperating. So call fucking dispatch! Call fucking dispatch!
Close your number. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
My favorite gender-neutral bathroom is Henry Kissinger's. Allegedly.
The last time we visited Daniel, he had been arrested on the night of March 1st for trespassing at a casino. Multiple Redditors reached out to casino security and the LVMPD confirming the incident. Afterward, Daniel completely disappeared from the grid, staying away from social media until March 14th, the same day I released the Daniel Larson documentary. On that eventful day, Daniel Larson made several claims about an alleged attack that had occurred, echoing a previous incident when he went off the radar. He boldly stated that he had been lifetime banned from the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas as a result of this assault. Shortly after, Daniel re-emerged on TikTok, resuming his online presence under the account name Daniel Larson NYC. He opened up to his followers, sharing that he had spent time at a mental health hospital in Las Vegas while seeking treatment and support. Meanwhile, on my YouTube channel, I unveiled the Daniel Larson documentary. This 2.5-hour long video delved deep into the life and history of Daniel Larson. In the lead up to its release, the documentary was promoted on the Daniel Larson subreddits, generating a considerable amount of anticipation. Within just one day, the documentary garnered 1.1k views, and since then, it has amassed nearly 600,000 views as of July 2023, solidifying its status as one of the most watched videos about Daniel on YouTube. While the documentary generally received positive feedback, one commenter stood out for expressing a more critical perspective. Ox, known as Ivan, voiced concerns about the video's lack of context regarding significant events, such as the nuke prank livestream and the December 10th incident. Ox disputed the claim made in the documentary that Daniel broke a TV after the nuke prank, clarifying instead that Daniel had a meltdown later that night, resulting in damage to a TV, which Daniel supposedly reimbursed. Which, to be honest, just kind of sounds like a very sugar-coated way of saying, yeah, Daniel broke a TV, but, you know, at least he covered it. But that's besides the point. Within the comments section, Ox passionately defended himself against accusations and provided additional details surrounding the December 10th incident. He revealed that on that fateful day, Daniel and Bob engaged in a relentless prank war with trolls, even resorting to using spoofed phone numbers. As tensions escalated, trolls decided to take their pranks a step further by spoofing the hotel's number and bombarding Daniel with threatening calls. This triggered a massive freakout from Daniel. Ox
I'm sorry, I've been silent. I was doing my eyeliner and I can't speak when I do that. Is it looking okay? Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Yes, no, maybe so. My eyes aren't the same shape, so this makes this very, very difficult. Anyway, this timeline in general is just so hard to, like, piece together. Like, and I already know I'm gonna get, like, 50 comments being like, actually, this incident was at 6:17 p.m., not 4:18 a.m. I think, because I'm trying to do this from the perspective of, like, essentially Lolcow nature as, like, a point of internet culture, you know? So we'll see how this goes. I'm attempting to be as non-exploitative as possible.
emphasized that Bob had already been on edge due to receiving death threats from Daniel's core trolls throughout the month. Frustrated and genuinely concerned for their safety, Bob insisted that Daniel leave, ultimately leading to the sequence of events that followed. Ox's comments shed light on the intricate dynamics and the series of events that unfolded during these tumultuous times. They added a new layer of understanding to the narrative, providing the audience with further context and revealing the extent of the challenges and pressures faced by both Daniel and those who were intertwined in his life. Following his discharge from the Sunrise Medical Center, Daniel shared his experiences there on March 15th. He claimed that the medical staff informed him that he was not mentally ill enough to be held permanently in a mental health facility. Furthermore, he mentioned that his doctor had labeled his diagnosis as unknown psychosis. These revelations shed light on the complexity surrounding Daniel's mental health and the hurdles he encountered in receiving appropriate care. The next day, Daniel uploaded a video revealing physical pain. Concerned, a stranger approached him, inquiring about his well-being. Daniel attributed his injury to accidentally walking into an object, although he never explicitly confirmed what that object was. Later in the video, he turned the camera around, showcasing a metal railing in front of him. It is plausible that this was the object he collided with, although the exact circumstances remain unclear. Amidst these events, Daniel posted a fabricated screenshot of his bank account balance on the 16th, displaying an astonishing figure of negative $755,000. This provocative image further heightened curiosity around Daniel's financial situation, leaving many questioning the authenticity of his claims. Additionally, Daniel faced an unexpected setback during one of his live streams. While seeking refuge at the Tropicana Hotel to charge his phone, he was asked to leave by a staff member who informed him that the charging facility was exclusively for hotel guests. On the 17th, Daniel decided to go live on TikTok, oblivious to the distressing events that would soon transpire. During the live stream, he began receiving threatening and harassing text messages, including death threats. In an extraordinary and somewhat disconcerting display, Daniel read each message aloud, providing an unfiltered glimpse into the disturbing nature of the content he was receiving. The messages ranged from ominous statements like, "I have a gun, I'm following you, I'm going to buy you dinner," to claims that a photograph of Daniel.
I'm gonna do a tiny, tiny pop of color in the inner corner with one of these. I'm gonna pick that sort of peachy toned one.
Daniel had been taken mere moments ago. Throughout the livestream, Daniel's reactions varied from anxiously glancing over his shoulder to abruptly running away after receiving a message that chillingly stated, "I am behind you." Notably, Daniel appeared to have a runny nose throughout the livestream and repeatedly attempted to address it by licking away the mucus. As a consequence of this distressing incident, Daniel's live privileges on TikTok were revoked for a week. It seemed that his decision to read the inappropriate messages aloud was what resulted in this suspension. Concluding the livestream, Daniel made it clear in a TikTok video that he did not possess a phone number at the moment and was solely relying on his iPad Touch for communication. This revelation underscored the limitations he faced during this period. Continuing on his journey, Daniel shared multiple TikTok videos the following day documenting his bus travels. These visuals served as tangible proof of his earlier claim that he had purchased a bus ticket and was en route to his next destination. The footage captured moments of his departure from Las Vegas, symbolizing a significant shift in the ongoing narrative. Throughout the day, Daniel diligently kept his followers updated throughout the community section of his YouTube page. Responding to a comment inquiring about his future plans, he revealed that he would be staying in Phoenix, Arizona for a few hours before heading to his next destination, New Orleans. Looking ahead, Daniel disclosed on the community section of his YouTube page.
Like, I think you have to understand, right? If you look at anything else on the internet, nothing's ever detailed like this. Right? This is like, when you have like a Lolcow, it's like a whole other level where it's like by the second they'll track and know where you are. Oh, thank you, Rosalie. But yeah, like, it's genuinely terrifying. The concept of this sort of environment existing for people, because it's like, it's one thing. Like, I thought the Chantel, like, I'll watch like reaction channels, right? And Foodie Beauty will have a rage about something, right? About like people commenting on her, blah blah blah. And people who like reaction channels that frequently navigate like kiwi farms will always say like, "Oh, Chantel, like your thing is nothing compared to like most people." And I always was like, "What are you talking about? Like this is like a level like I've never seen." And it's like, nope. With actual like full blown, like they're known for only being lolcow types, it's like a whole other level. Like the detail of these is, because there's like 7 hours of content that this guy's made on Daniel Larson. So
Page that his next move would involve taking a bus to Tucson, Arizona. The unfolding events continued to captivate the attention of his audience, who remained eager to witness the next phase of Daniel's ongoing journey. After embarking on a bus journey from Las Vegas, Nevada, Daniel Larson reached Phoenix, Arizona on the 18th of March. In his first video following his arrival, Daniel expressed gratitude to his viewers by giving Cash App shoutouts to those who had donated to him. Throughout the day, he continued to upload videos acknowledging donations, including one where he thanked a contributor named Ariana Grande for a generous $70 donation. Alongside these shoutouts, Daniel showcased his creative side through a series of rap videos that reflected his new surroundings. His lyrics contained whimsical references such as, "I stand up here next to the Sphinx," and "I can't wait to taste the cat in the witch's brew."
yeah, but this is So again, this is the same thing of what we were talking about earlier about how World of T-Shirts makes money or whatever, like how that works and the function of that. When people have some sort of sick interest in somebody, they will donate to keep it interesting for as long as they possibly can. While there are so many people who are financially struggling, there are also so many people who are secretly very well off, and will contribute money in any way in these weird niche things that they like, right? You see it often in the sex work industry, but this is also something that is in the case of just morbid curiosities and online life and stuff, you know? So let us keep going.
Yeah, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, bro. You know my name. I stand up here next to the Sphinx. Yeah, that stinks, but you know, when I am king, I'm gonna be standing. Yeah, I'm monkey, I'm the Sphinx. Yeah, it stinks when I'm standing up here next to the Sphinx. But yeah, I am the king. You know my name. It's Daniel motherfucking Larson. I'm holding my broomstick, and I'm standing next to the witch.
In another video, he revealed that he had decided to stop taking Latuda, a medication commonly prescribed for schizophrenia, citing blurred speech and increased confusion as the reasons behind his choice. In a subsequent video, Daniel expressed his need for an additional $20 before he could proceed to Tucson, Arizona. Later in the day, he posted another video where he appeared to be inside a train, monorail, or subway, although he did not clarify the mode of transportation or its destination. The footage indicated nighttime surroundings, suggesting he was still in Phoenix, Arizona at the time. Simultaneously, Daniel updated his YouTube community tab at Daniel Larson NYC, sharing that he had just booked a bus ticket to Tucson for the following morning. In response to a comment questioning his plans in Tucson, he simply stated transfer. Another comment suggested he had initially planned to go to New York, to which Daniel replied, I am. In a subsequent community post, he announced that after Tucson, his next stop would be Houston, Texas. On March 19th, Daniel arrived in Tucson, Arizona, having taken a bus from Phoenix earlier that morning. Similar to his brief stay in Phoenix, he had no intention of remaining in Tucson for long and indicated that he would be traveling onward to El Paso, Texas. As the day progressed, he uploaded a series of videos indulging in cookies and cream ice cream, playfully endorsing its delectable taste. In one video, he exclaimed, "These are amazing. If you haven't tried them, you should." Another video showcased him smeared with white ice cream across his lips and face, prompting him to humorously remark, "Oh my god, with all this cookie dough, it's so messy. I literally look like I did something naughty." Good god, dude. Oh my god. During his time in Tucson, Daniel engaged with various strangers, presumably some of whom were his viewers. He captured these interactions through numerous selfies showcasing the connections he was building. Just a few hours after posting the first selfie with these individuals, Daniel shared a video in which he joyfully danced alongside 5 young men, seemingly fans of his. Several strangers also approached Daniel and gifted him items, seemingly out of kindness alone. While the acts of generosity were not recorded, Daniel featured the conversations he had with these strangers, discussing his needs regarding food and toiletries. Although the specific purchases were not shown, it can be inferred that they took place off camera. Notably, an anonymous fan even gifted Daniel a tent, which he proceeded to carry with him. March 21st saw Daniel posting a video of himself walking alongside a road, offering updates on recent events. In the video, he disclosed, "I'm currently in Arizona, in a small town. Can't say the name of the town mainly for safety. I was going to go to El Paso, but I'm going to have to cancel that. Yesterday, I was receiving death threats over going to El Paso, so I'm not going to El Paso until I can get security." While Daniel chose not to disclose the town's name, observant users on the subreddit were able to identify his location based on a previous video in which he visited a veterans memorial. Using Google Maps, subreddit members determined that the memorial was situated in Benson, Arizona, approximately 50 miles southeast of Tucson. Daniel proceeded to upload more videos as he strolled through Benson. However, due to windy conditions, the audio quality was compromised, making it challenging to grasp all the details he shared. On the early morning of March 22nd, Daniel Larson found himself in a parking garage, realizing that he had boarded the wrong bus. Instead of reaching his intended destination of Roswell, New Mexico, he ended up in El Paso, Texas, his original destination. In a video he posted, Daniel shared the details of this unexpected turn of events with his viewers. During his time in El Paso, one noteworthy incident involved an individual referred to by Daniel as C. Daniel took to his YouTube community page to express concerns about this person, who he claimed was threatening him. He posted cryptic messages like, "C, stop texting me," and "C, stop messaging me or I will fix you and your family" on TikTok to the FBI and tell the fans to press charges. Jesus Christ. The identity of C remained a mystery, with Daniel only referring to them as a troll when asked in a comment. Another incident took place while Daniel was inside a restaurant in El Paso. Initially, he appeared to be in good spirits, thanking his donors and announcing his upcoming music album. However, he suddenly posted a video stating that he was dealing with the police. According to Daniel, someone had called the police to the restaurant, an act he attributed to a troll. Aware of his past reputation for leaving without paying, Daniel emphasized that his tab was fully settled. In a subsequent video, he mentioned that the police had released him without any issues and even left a $50 tip as a gesture of gratitude. The following morning, Daniel uploaded a video from inside a tent, presumably the same tent he had been given in Tucson, where he had already spent the night. In the video, he mentioned needing new shoes and revealed his worn-out hair. Later, he posted another video capturing his boarding of a bus. On March 23rd, Daniel was spotted in downtown San Jacinto Plaza Park near a JP Morgan Chase Bank in El Paso, Texas. He was seen making his way to the nearest bus station around 12:30 p.m. MST. From there, he boarded a bus to Big Spring, Texas. Upon reaching Big Spring on March 24th, Daniel claimed to have lost his debit card early in the day. He spent the rest of the day searching for it. On March 25th, Daniel uploaded a video announcing that he had found his debit card but discovered it was no longer working. In an unusual move, Daniel posted a picture on his YouTube community page showing a random man sleeping with the caption, "Tell this guy to stop stalking me," likely as the result of a schizophrenic episode. Around 11 o'clock p.m. on the same day, Daniel uploaded several videos on his YouTube community page regarding an emergency. The emergency referred to the influx of comments from trolls he was receiving. Daniel claimed to be in communication with Ivan, which resulted in a heated argument where Daniel accused Ivan of being delusional and not in contact with Tina Vanderwall. Daniel later alleged that Ivan was holding Grace Vanderwall at gunpoint, a claim
he left the bartender a tip when he got, when people were alleging that he was escorted out, you know? I think that's what it actually is. I heard about Daniel Larson for the first time like a week ago when my boyfriend was like, "Hey, there's this guy called World of T-Shirts, and then this other guy that he's affiliated with called Daniel Larson. So that's what we got going on right now. Also, super unrelated and random. Tomorrow and Tuesday are the last 2 days of my degree, and then I have a master's degree. So I'm gonna put on my community tab very soon, maybe right now while we're watching this, and ask for suggestions for like a Yeehaw I graduated stream to do on Wednesday morning or something. I did one for my undergrad and it was really fun. I played Among Us and had White Claws, so it was kind of epic. Yeah, the dude has more records on. Yeah, no, here, I'll show you the let me find it first and then I'll pull it up, the subreddit.
Echoed by someone who identified themselves as Grace in a subsequent video. In response, Daniel stated that he would contact the police. He also mentioned receiving cease and desist letters from LBI Records and Columbia Records, citing his past employment with these companies. Over the course of an hour, Daniel posted 47 videos discussing the above events, including his association with Grace and Tina Vanderwall, the status of a restraining order filed against him, and his alleged termination by an unknown employer. On March 26th, Daniel posted multiple videos showcasing his breakfast, which consisted of nacho cheese chips and an energy drink. He also claimed that donations from Gus Fring did not go through.
Sorry. The Gus Fring thing I'm laughing at because it's my dog's government name. So this is the Daniel Larson subreddit. Look, top 5% on Reddit by size. Like, it's so wild. So keep that in mind. What were the type of character we're going into?
In an update on his YouTube community page, Daniel mentioned being caught up in another crisis. He described communicating with Grace, who allegedly tried to force him to disclose his social media passwords and eventually resorted to threatening physical violence. In a YouTube community comment, Daniel stated that his debit card was working again, but noted a discrepancy of around $60 in his bank account. He later announced his plan to go out for lunch and shared multiple videos of a dog, expressing concern that it might attack him. Out of paranoia, Daniel declared that he would fucking murder that dog if it attempted to bite him. He further uploaded a video featuring a company car, inadvertently revealing his location to fans. Feeling that his location had been compromised again, Daniel announced that he would not stay there much longer. Shortly after, Daniel uploaded a video with someone off camera holding a phone. The video captured a phone conversation with a person claiming to be from MGM Security who had allegedly kicked Daniel out. Daniel inquired about the reason for his removal, to which the supposed security figure accused him of having scabies, being a pedophile, and having an interest in children. Daniel vehemently denied these allegations, stating that legal action had been taken and that his social media accounts were hacked in 2021. He claimed to have won a court case related to the matter. The caller then requested a $10 donation from Daniel, but he explained that his management handled his finances. When asked if he would take a picture for $5, Daniel declined. The video abruptly transitioned to Daniel sprinting towards the restaurant's front door, where he filmed the red pickup truck, the same vehicle the person on the phone had allegedly entered. 4 hours later, Daniel uploaded another video claiming to have taken a bus and arrived in Wichita, Kansas. However, this claim was impossible since the journey from Big Spring to Wichita takes around 17 hours. Later that day, Daniel made numerous posts on TikTok and YouTube alleging that he had been stalked by a white pickup truck for several hours. In the videos, Walmart signs were visible in the background. Daniel also mentioned that some of his fans were calling the Big Spring Walmart to have him expelled. Additionally, he claimed that an unknown fan was waiting outside with a gun. Daniel decided to document his adventures in the big city by going live on TikTok. He started the live stream by hiding behind a shopping cart in a Walmart parking lot, claiming that the white pickup truck was waiting for him. He informed the viewers that he had notified the store security about the situation. According to Daniel, the truck's owner had strategically parked to maintain a clear view of the parking lot. He also recounted an incident before the live stream where he tried to leave the store but felt that the white pickup truck was following him, prompting him to return inside. During the live stream, an employee confirmed that they had checked the parking lot and found no sign of a white pickup truck. Daniel then left the store and showed the empty parking lot as quote-unquote evidence. Although the white pickup truck was nowhere to be seen, a black pickup truck drove past Daniel and parked in front of the store, raising his suspicions. Fueled by paranoia, Daniel took cover behind a vending machine. Eventually, he decided to escape a nearby gas station and sprinted across the parking lot, claiming that a white car was trying to catch up to him. Seeking safety, Daniel entered the gas station and asked the cashier to call the police, explaining that he was being stalked and receiving death threats through the livestream chat. Another employee offered to make the call on his behalf. As they waited the arrival of police, Daniel shared details of his internet fame and discussed his alleged stalkers. When he described the vehicles involved, he and the cashier ventured outside to search for them. However, they concluded that the parking lot was clear. Daniel returned to the store and continued observing serving for the black pickup truck. Eventually, he claimed that the white car had returned and showed it to an employee. The employees, having already done their best to assist him, asked Daniel to leave the store, and he complied. Outside, multiple customers and employees assured him that he was safe. For the remainder of the live stream, Daniel walked along random streets delivering motivational speeches. He spoke about his autism, family history, similarities to Donald Trump, and his fan base. Daniel also acknowledged his past mistakes, including doxing people, and mentioned the Pinterest board incident.
Oh my god. The dog subplot. Yeah, music, you mean? Oh man. Okay, hold on. I need to pee really bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play one of my videos because I don't want to like just sit and play someone else's content as my stream and I'm not commenting on anything. So I'm just gonna not dox myself, probably be a good idea, and then open one of my videos so that we can have blah, 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 blah. Here, let's do the my old foodie beauty video where I talk about like lolcows and stuff. Rhetorician Kenneth Burke talks about. The reason why I want to bring this up is because the lives of the girls are often called seasons by reaction channels. They're called seasons, episodes, or eras. So what people do was, particularly with Amberlynn Reed, for example, is they'll call it the Destiny era, the Crystal era, Becky era. Now it's Wifey era. Her name hasn't been confirmed, the girlfriend, Amberlynn Reed's current girlfriend. Most people have an idea, but I'm not gonna dox anybody. And with that comes Chantel, who would arguably have the BB era, the single era, the Owen season, and the Natter era as far as what's going on right now, or seasons. Because of that, I want to read something. I have an actual book. I never have the print copy. I'm always on my iPad because I don't like print books. I can't write in them. I know you can, but it irks me. It makes me uncomfy to write in the book, so I have them tabbed. So we're going to do 2 excerpts here. So the first one, this is just the definition of dramatization. So look, it's like a real book. Okay. Before people come for me that I don't know stuff. Dramatization is a method of analysis or corresponding critique of terminology designed to show how the most direct route to the study of the human relations and human motives is via methodological inquiry into cycles or clusters of terms and their functions. So in people who don't spend hours reading these books' terms, that just means that dramatization is a set of terminologies and systems to kind of describe how people live in their day-to-day life and how people do so in a way perceived by other people. An act of dramatization is even you watching the video and you perceiving the arguments that I make, from as far as my body language, my use of language, my accent, my location, my visual, like how I look like this, the fact that I always keep these in the background. That's because the Squishmallows are supposed to kind of resonate a positive vibe and a comfort. That's why I keep them. I also really enjoy them, and I wanted something fun in the background because, so you can see, my room looks kind of government building chic. Yikes, doesn't look very nice vibes. So I give something in the background to kind of make it more exciting. I do move in a couple months, so it will change, but I'll try to figure out a way to keep the Squishmallows in the background. I might have to get like one of those little carts and leave them in. The dramatistic approach is implicit in the key term act. Act is thus a deterministic center from which many related considerations can be shown to radiate, as though it were a God term from which the whole universe in terms is derived. I have talked about God terms time and time again. That is a term from rhetorician Richard Weaver. God term just kind of means a term used specifically in a way to invoke typically a positive reaction, because your devil term is your antonym to your kind of God, your opposition. God terms in the internet, for example, would be clout, or in Chantel would be bees, or devil terms could be canceled culture. You know, things like that. Doxing would be another devil term in internet culture, but some people will consider them all God terms in the sense of that they hold a lot of power. It just kind of depends on how it's defined in a certain set of circumstances, but typically devil term bad, big word invoking, and God term good, big word invoking of a certain emotion. The dramatistic study of language comes to a focus in a philosophy of language and a symbolicity in general. The latter provides the basis for a general conception of man and human relations. The present article will consider primarily dramatistic concern and resources, limitations, and paradoxes of terminology, particularly in connection of inputting the motives. So this is just, again, talking about like interactions of language and how people perceive things in regards to day-to-day relations. This is what I was talking about in my last video, that I don't actually study psychology. It's more of like complex social linguistics theory. All it is I just don't do any math, which is actually kind of a shame because I liked math. So another thing I want to read about is the definition of a scene, because I think this is really interesting. So obviously, for instance, the concept of a scene can be widened or narrowed, conceived as in terms of varying scope or circumference. Thus, an agent's behavior act might be thought of as taking place against a polytheistic background, or overall scene may be brought of as grounded in one god, or a circumference of situations that can be narrowed to naturalistic limits, such as in Darwinism, or can be localized in such terms as Western civilization, Elizabethism, capitalism, D-Day, 10 Downing Street, or this main ride, or so on, endlessly. So in the case of this, I know this sounds like I'm just like digging so deep. This centered ideology or centered scene would be the Girlverse and the idea of the internet train wreck. And I was reading through this book this morning when I was scripting the video, and I just felt like this was such a good description of like what is drawing people to this niche and what is drawing people to this person, and doing things like buying memberships to Bees with Chantel. Bees? How do you define bees? One second. We need a cameo from you, please. Come in. Can you pretty please, for the audience, define the word bees? Hello.
Bees?
Can I speak? Hi, we have a new guest with us. The aforementioned Gustavo Fring, because my boyfriend went to the store and I opened the door and he was just sitting there all sad and alone. So he's hanging out with me now. And he will hopefully be happily chewing on that and not anything else. So, yes, so that is Waterloo apartment filming on iPhone 11 era Mika, if you were wondering. So, I think 90% of you in this chat, at least, the microphone, please, have no idea what's going on there, right? With the whole, like, horrible looking room thing. That is my student accommodation apartment for my undergraduate. So, that's the vibe that we were on at the time. Now we can go back to this. Now, here's the other thing. So here's the World of T-Shirts Reddit, okay? Again, there haven't really been any updates since I started scripting. So that's this, where Michael is allegedly saying that he's going to cut him off the alcohol.
Contacted the Matthew Perry Foundation is permitted to serve Joshua alcohol. That's a direct order coming from me. I've contacted the Matthew Perry Foundation. Changes are coming.
I assume the Matthew Perry Foundation is for addiction, right? So you've got World of T-Shirts here. You've got the Daniel Larson Reddit here. This is, see, like, they're talking about how he's hiding in a bathroom. So they're tracking him live. And they call him Beak Boy because of the shape of his face. Like, this one is way more akin to like what Kiwi Farms is like. You know? So this is definitely something that is way more this one is apparently saying that that he's texting them. This is just something that's the thing with Daniel Larson though is that he is like, you know, inappropriate with children. So that's also going to be something, right? What delusions of grandeur do to a MF in a couple years. He's only 25. He's born in 1998, by the way. So clearly life has not served him well. But it's also just like frequent homelessness, a lot of other issues that come from his circumstances. That's the other thing, right? It's like, I think the thing is it's hard, right? Because I think a mentally healthy person, if bombarded to the extent, yes, Golden Girls, you're so much smarter than me, and you're the realist. I forgot that might just be, yeah, let me monitor on this side. I'm going to scroll for really quick for a long time. The Reddit's pretty good for not putting that stuff. It tends to be more so on the forums or on like random like forums.
Today.
Yeah, there's no peen on the Reddit, so we're good to go.
Says that Danny is the goofiest motherfucker he has seen.
There is definitely going to be cussing though, so let's pause that, boyo. But yeah, it's the Daniel Larson stuff in particular is like incredibly tragic. So we'll watch up to, when does he get to New York? Oh. We'll watch up through chapter 21, and then I don't need any more of it. Because the video is about World of T-Shirts, so that's like the focus that I'm gonna have. So yes. I'm sad. This is entirely random because I'm talking about live streams and stuff. My goal for this year was to get 50,000 subs and then do like a Minecraft stream. But now I'm not going to have 50,000 subs, so I can't do a Minecraft stream because I still want to save that. But as mentioned, please think of ideas for the grad stream, and I will make the community tab post right now. And I'm going to say that, and now we can watch the video.
Insisting that he had been hacked. Throughout his monologue, Daniel trespassed on the Edge's properties, prompting a dog to bark at him in one instance. Startled, Daniel yelled at the dog and quickly crossed the street, narrowly avoiding being hit by a car. During the live stream, Daniel sporadically started running, claiming to have seen or heard something suspicious each time. At one point, he entered a Whataburger and asked if he could use an outlet to call an Uber. Shortly after, he abruptly ended the live stream. The live stream was subsequently uploaded to YouTube by a user named AcidGat. On the night of March 27th around 1 a.m., Daniel went live on TikTok once again, documenting his journey through the city streets. Reflecting on his previous safety concerns, Daniel engaged with local business owners who assured him that the supposed gunshots he had heard were simply the sounds of passing cars and 4th of July fireworks. It took a few minutes for Daniel to realize that it was actually March and not July. Continuing his walk, Daniel remarked on the high number of police officers in the vicinity, capturing their presence as they drove by. At one point, he jogged over a bridge, adding a sense of adventure to his stream. Later, Daniel mentioned that his Uber app was not working, so he decided to walk back to the gas station he had visited earlier. As he strolled along a street, he suddenly noticed a police car executing a U-turn towards his direction. Daniel believed that the officers were specifically watching him, leading him to film their actions. Eventually, one of the officers approached Daniel, and he documented their interaction on camera. The officer informed Daniel that the police station had received multiple phone calls about him, piquing their interest. In response, Daniel eagerly shared details about his status as a celebrity on TikTok. The officer, having heard the calls and looked into Daniel's online presence, expressed his curiosity and decided to find him. Reassuringly, the officer emphasized that Daniel was not under arrest and was free to leave at any time. The encounter turned out to be surprisingly positive, and after bidding farewell to the officer, Daniel announced his intention to return to the gas station to charge his phone and call an Uber. Shortly before arriving at the gas station, Daniel concluded the live stream. However, almost immediately after the stream ended, the location of the gas station where Daniel had sought refuge was posted on Reddit. In response, Daniel made several posts urging his fans to stop calling the gas station. Unfortunately, the gas station staff was inundated with a barrage of calls from fans, some intending to inform the staff about Daniel's reputation and presence, while others simply wanted to speak to him. It was reported that one person managed to get through to Daniel, but the conversation abruptly ended when Daniel became upset at being addressed as Danny Boy and Danderson. Eventually, the overwhelmed gas station employees stopped answering the phone. Later that same day, an account claiming to be Tina Vanderwall left multiple comments on Daniel's YouTube community page, triggering a breakdown for him. In an attempt to to regain control, Daniel uploaded several videos featuring a conversation he had with a fan at a gas station. Grateful for the gesture, the fan had bought Daniel a 4 Lolcow drink. However, this act of kindness coincided with an unfortunate turn of events. Daniel declared that his location had been leaked, resulting in a flood of phone calls directed towards the gas station. To further complicate matters, Daniel shared a screenshot revealing his email address, asserting that both his YouTube page and email had been compromised and hacked. Fleeing from the mounting turmoil, Daniel boarded a bus and departed from—
That's the other thing, right? So this is something that this video isn't mentioning, which I'm not sure why. Maybe because it was outlined in the last one. But essentially, Daniel has these people on Reddit, or not Reddit, these people in his DMs all the time claiming to be his managers. They want to be his manager and help him with his content. And then they will get his passwords for his social media and then compromise them. But there was also another point where this group of older people, like mid-20s or something like that, were... Because the thing is, with people interfering with these lolcows are kids, because it's TikTok, as opposed to, as I mentioned, something on my keyboard, the normal sort of audience for that type of stuff is adults. So it's definitely like they've had... So the other people took over in hopes to like not have any issues for Daniel anymore, and then everything ended up just getting way worse. So yep, that's kind of the group of people. They call themselves the managers. I will reference the managers pretty frequently in my video because that's something that makes this sort of even more sick, right? Because regardless of what Daniel's like and how much people want to comment on Daniel and all that kind of stuff, these people like controlling his life to make this spiral so much worse is something that's like genuinely terrifying. Because if he does have schizophrenia, which I've never seen videos that confirm the diagnosis, but there are mentions of medications that he does take that tend to be specific to schizophrenia. I've had quite a few people in my personal life that have schizophrenia, and it is extremely debilitating when they have treatment. Like when they're being treated, it's bad. So imagine, like, not only are you not being treated, you're on and off your medication, you have people constantly pretending to be almost the sort of like visions and illusions that you're having just to screw with you, with literally the not even like bad intentions in mind, like the worst possible ones. Right? So that's something that's just so wild to me.
Big Spring, leaving behind a string of perplexing incidents. On March 28th, Daniel arrived in Sweetwater, Texas after a 20-minute Greyhound bus ride. Stepping off at the first stop, he noticed a white pickup truck parked at the station, which immediately raised concerns for his safety. Cautious of the potential threat, Daniel decided to stay at the station for a while. Unfortunately, some individuals managed to identify his location by spotting the business name in the background of one of his videos. These trolls went to great lengths to get Daniel kicked out, even resorting to calling the police. However, their efforts proved unsuccessful as Daniel remained undeterred. To make ends meet, he accepted an offer to mop up the bathrooms at the truck stop for $20. Later that day, in a TikTok upload, Daniel excitedly announced a collaboration with Playboi Carti, a well-known rapper from Atlanta. With his plans set, Daniel left Sweetwater in the evening and headed towards San Antonio. Arriving in San Antonio on March 29th, Daniel decided to go live on TikTok while sleeping at the Greyhound station. However, his rest was abruptly interrupted by an employee who woke him up and asked him to leave the premises. It turned out that the station had received numerous calls about Daniel's presence, prompting them to take action.
Daniel? Yes. Were you in here last night?
Playboi Carti, bro. Do you ever just wake up sometimes and your sleep was so bad that you feel like Playboi Carti's baby? You ever seen that meme? You ever just wake up and feel like Playboi Carti's baby? That's me. This is me. This is actually a bit tragic, but that's besides the point. As soon as you mentioned Playboi Carti, someone breathes the name Playboi Carti, I'm immediately thinking about that baby. Cause just like, and it was this, and it was captioned like sleepy or something. I think it's a filter though. I really, really hope it was a filter. I think it was, but anyway.
night?
I was.
Okay, and then the cops actually took you out of here, right?
Ooh,
yes.
sounds off.
So walk me back over here.
I'm waiting for Greyhound.
Okay, alright, so here's what I need you to
Oh.
do. You can wait off the premises for Greyhound to show up because you'll be able to see the bus and stuff like that. I can't continue having phone calls, people calling and prank calling and stuff, whatever's going on. I have no earthly idea and stuff, but I need you off the property.
Yes, this is similar to FouseyTube. I would like to know, like, I think down the line I would make a FouseyTube video on like FouseyTube's 2023 kind of thing. I just don't know what he's doing now. Like, I kind of lost track of him after he got banned on Twitch and moved to Kick. And then there was like some hanging out with Sneeko stuff, I feel like, but then I'm a little bit lost in the sauce now.
I will do that.
Okay.
Alright, thank you. I get treated like motherfucking shit. Yeah, this place is still getting harassed. And I just got a phone call. Okay. I just got a phone call here. Okay. Well, that's my life.
Later that day, Daniel arrived in Houston. However, the morning of March 30th brought an argument between Daniel and the employees and security at the Greyhound bus station. The dispute revolved around a bus ticket transfer as Daniel did not have a ticket for any of the buses. The employees insisted that he leave the station, but Daniel refused, even challenging them to call the police. In the midst of this confrontation, Daniel claimed to have called the police himself, citing threats on his life as the reason.
Already deleted it when I came in here. I'm not gonna leave. You guys can call the police. Because
Sabrina, FouseyTube. This guy. He used to do pranks and stuff. So he's been hanging out with Aiden Ross, and Sneeko, which is epic. Oh my god. See, the scholarship giveaway. You know what I need? I need Mr. Beast to hop in here and donate me 10 bands to fix my car. Anyways, this is who I was referring to. This would be another person that I would potentially make this sort of video on. Yeah. Because he had, like... He was institutionalized at some point. But I don't know if it was a 5150. So... Yeah, I stream with Aiden. Why do all these these like streamer guys just have these giant, ugly, millennial gray houses with no furniture? It's like they live in warehouses. I remember when, I think it was Aiden Ross moved to Canada for a bit to gamble. And like... Okay, yeah, so we're fully in our like... Sneeko bro era thing. I think it's because like Ethan Klein kind of distanced himself from him when he allegedly had intercourse with a woman who was super inebriated. And I think after that he just went full swing to like the right wing guys, you know? I think that's what it is. He had this thing for a while that he was streaming every single day on Twitch, but then he got banned for, I think, well, he was naked for a second by accident at one point. But there was also something else. Anyway, that would be another one that I would make a video on.
When I came in here on the bus, I was going to do the bus transfer. Okay, so then I'm leaving here at 12. I'm not going to leave because I'm going to be leaving on the bus.
Sir, you have to leave and have a ticket, sir.
Okay, call the fucking police. I'm not playing games. I did not. No, I didn't. I called the police because somebody was threatening to kill me. So I had to protect myself. But I said that I was going to go get the bus ticket and I was going to leave here at 12. Give me a fucking break.
Eventually, Daniel found himself at a restaurant in downtown Houston. Seeking some respite, he asked for Cash App donations on TikTok, requesting $1 from his followers. However, trolls managed to track him down once again, bombarding the restaurant with phone calls and ultimately leading to Daniel being asked to leave. Despite the chaos, Daniel refused to comply and the police were called to intervene. A TikTok video captured the interaction between Daniel and two Houston PD officers, where he explained the ongoing doxing and trolling situation. The officers collected Daniel's information and inquired about his travel plans and occupation. Daniel described himself as usual.
And I'm sorry if I'm not talking enough and it's giving XQC, but I'm generally like trying to piece this together in a way that is acceptable.
As a multi-talented singer and songwriter on a business trip, mentioning his upcoming visit to Florida before heading to New York City. The topic of doxing was discussed, with Daniel revealing that someone had made it their mission to get him banned from every establishment he visited. The encounter with the police remained civil and Daniel was advised to explore other restaurants east of downtown Houston. He was escorted off the property with a warning not to return. Seeking refuge, Daniel made his way to the Sodo on Main Apartment Complex in Houston. In a twist of events, he entered a restaurant called Mademoiselle Louise in the South Tower of the complex. However, the familiar pattern repeated itself, with trolls discovering his location and prompting the restaurant employees to ask him to leave. Daniel, determined to stay, refused their request, leading to another call to the police. A TikTok video captured a heated argument between Daniel and two
We
Houston...
see again, every second he's getting another donation. Right? So then now you're having that sort of pull for the Lolcows again, you know? That they're really bringing in this
police department officers. The situation escalated, with Daniel shouting slurs towards the officers, who eventually walked away and rode off on their bicycles. Angered by their response, Daniel followed their path, engaging in a confrontational exchange.
I'm not debating, I just have like a serious question that I do need to ask, okay?
Go ahead.
So recently I gained a bunch of popularity over social media.
We don't have time for that.
Okay, but somebody has been doxing my okay. Going into the police department that you guys are not cooperating. So call fucking dispatch. Call fucking dispatch. No. Go call the police.
really shows you how useful the cops are. Am I right, lady? Sorry.
Okay, you're putting me in physical danger. Bitch! I told you that I was getting doxxed!
Exhausted from the events of the day, Daniel found himself standing on the corner of the Sodo on Main Apartments. In one of his final TikToks on March 30th, he discussed his intention to press charges against both the police department and his trolls. He claimed that the police had labeled him as acting crazy on social media. It remains unclear whether Daniel was arrested, detained, released, or left the property before police arrived. However, the TikToks depicting this incident with the police were deleted, leaving the exact details of the aftermath unknown.
This is the part that
Daniel's
I really
new managers,
need.
including the username I Wish I Had a Dad, played a crucial role in assisting him with purchasing a plane ticket to New York City. His main motivation for this adventure was to meet up with Tina and Grace Vanderwall, who had apparently...
Oh, no. Really? God. The fact that it was for Grace Vanderwall makes this so much worse. Oh, no.
He requested his presence for an investigation. Moreover, Daniel had expressed a desire to meet Grace in person. As news of Daniel's flight spread, there was some confusion regarding the exact date. Although Daniel initially stated that his flight would take place on April 4th, the community inferred that it would happen on the 3rd. This deliberate ambiguity was Daniel's attempt to throw off the trolls. Eventually, on April 3rd at around 2 p.m., Daniel was believed to have passed through airport security. His flight included a transfer at the Charlotte Airport in North Carolina, and its final destination...
This is what I'm talking about, right? April 3rd at 2 p.m. he went through it. Like, that's crazy. Good God.
was Newark, New Jersey. From there, Daniel planned to take a train from Penn Station to New York City. At 7:57 p.m. on April 3rd, Daniel shared what appeared to be photos of himself inside of an airplane on the Discord server called Daniel Larson HQ. However, the authenticity of these photos came into question. Around noon on April 4th, Daniel uploaded multiple videos confirming his arrival in New York. Although it's unclear if he meant to say Newark, he proceeded to post several videos discussing the leak of his phone number and location. He made an unsupported claim that the fire alarms were pulled at the airport as a part of an attack, though it remained uncertain whether he believed it was directed specifically at him. Daniel continued to upload videos from a subway or train car where he could be seen punching and kicking his surroundings while expressing distress over his doxing situation.
Stop. You guys are fucking scaring me. Stop. Stop. You guys are fucking scaring me.
Later, a fan posted a TikTok video showing Daniel in their car with the caption, "In the Big Apple," in all caps.
Daniel Larson is in New York!
Daniel's presence in New York City did not go unnoticed by his fans, who eagerly tracked his movements and shared his whereabouts. Around 6 p.m. EST on April 4th, Daniel was spotted at Exchange Place in Jersey City. He boarded a train to the World Trade Center and later disclosed his location, Beats Karaoke in Brooklyn. Throughout, individuals had genuine intentions and wanted to meet him, paying for his meals, offering gifts, and even providing a room for him to sleep on the 4th through the 5th. Others sought to exploit his vulnerability. On the night of the 5th, the bodega incident occurred. Before the incident, a Reddit user named u/SuckMonkey posted multiple videos of himself harassing Daniel, starting at a restaurant. According to Daniel, these teenagers had sent him death threats at various locations before showing up at a bodega. The fans repeatedly asked Daniel if he smoked crack and if he knew who they were. They deceitfully claimed to be his friends, escalating Daniel's agitation. Throughout the videos, Daniel mentioned an unspecified security force. The fans continued to follow Daniel inside the store, taunting him by calling his name from different aisles and engaging in other provocative actions until he became visibly...
Is bodega a grocery store? Is that what that is? Canadian needs help. Please tell me what a bodega is, because I don't know what that is. Is it a grocery store, or is it like... Someone please help me. Thank you.
upset and eventually called the police. This is where the video call capturing most of the incident began.
Alright, I'll just in box mate, so you might freak out. Alright, boss.
I'm asking you to leave. We're on the phone with police. No, I don't. I'm on the phone with my security. No, I'm not. Stop lying. Get out of here before I call the police.
That's the other thing. Like, it's so sad. Because, like... See, bodega sounds too fancy to be a corner store. Anyway. You can always hear him, like, pleading for people to leave. Like, he's pleading for people to leave him alone. And, like again, I know it's such a moral dilemma, which is probably what feeds into the fascination as well, right? Is that sort of essence of, that he's so horrible, but also so abused at the same time.
Daniel.
I've asked you to leave. We're on the phone with the police.
Daniel,
I've asked you to
come on,
leave.
Daniel. You know me.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. I'm on the phone with my security.
We're smoking crack
Like,
this week.
he's
No, I'm not.
just actively gaslighting him in real time, too. Like,
I don't know any of these people. And they're impersonating my security. They've been following me around the entire block.
Daniel.
The restaurant.
Are you smoking crack or something?
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave if they do not leave. I'm calling the police. Please leave.
On the same night, user u/cybercrimer uploaded a recording of a private Discord call involving Daniel, his management, and someone impersonating Olivia Vanderwall to Reddit. The call took place on a private Discord server, the same one mentioned earlier as Daniel Larson HQ, which served as a communication channel for so-called managers and the fake Olivia Vanderwall. During the call, Daniel was seen being kicked out of Little India Bodega by an employee for recording in the store and causing a disturbance. Furthermore, the individuals on the call goaded Daniel to spit on the employee and show them his camera. Consumed by rage, Daniel charged at the man and punched him. In response, the employee punched Daniel in the eye and pushed him to the ground. Daniel yelled, but the shaky and obscured camera failed to capture the actual assaults.
I've already punched the security guard.
You already punched him?
Yeah, I did. Because he put hands on me. And I told him that I'm a celebrity and you're clearly putting me in danger. Yes, the police are on their way. I'm not gonna do that. I have you on film. I have you on film.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
I have you on film, bitch. I have you on film, bitch. Police told me to wait in there, bitch.
Daniel, defend yourself.
Daniel, get back at him.
Fucking police. They told me to wait in there. No, because you hit me. You hit me in there. Fuck you, bitch. You hit me in there. Don't put someone else to defend myself.
When Daniel turned the camera back on, he screamed about his injuries, claiming that his knee and eye were bleeding after being pushed to the ground. Despite the pleas from his managers and the fake Olivia Vanderwall to leave the bodega, Daniel refused to comply, stating his intention to press charges against both the employee and the 5 teenagers who had been following him. Daniel mentioned that he was waiting outside the bodega for the police and EMS as he did not emerge from the situation unharmed, which was a rarity in his previous incidents. He expressed the need for paramedics due to the black eye he sustained during the altercation. Later, a picture of his black eye was uploaded to Reddit by user u/Tanyupani. About an hour after the incident, Daniel revealed that he was still waiting for EMS, concerned that he might have suffered a concussion during the altercation. Subsequently, it was reported that Daniel had checked out of the hospital. While in the emergency room, he underwent a screening for a concussion, which turned out negative, and no serious injuries were reported. Later that night, Daniel uploaded another video from the hospital, although it was unclear whether it was from his initial visit or if he returned. The video showed his black eye. In the footage, Daniel claims that he had been attacked by 2 fans in New York City in 2023, but he assured his viewers that he had no fractures and only had a sizable cut on his nose.
So wait, hold on. Like, I'm asking now because I'm confused. He was on a Discord call with fake managers and then got beat up in a bodega. Right? Is that what it is? And, like, but they were all trying to be like, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. And then he didn't and got beaten up. Am I getting this right?
While staying in the hospital, Daniel had a large gauze bandage on his nose. However, in his TikTok videos where he toured the 9/11 memorial and other attractions, he did not have the bandage on. During Daniel's time in New York, his fans urged him and World of T-Shirts to meet up. But before we delve into the roles of World of T-Shirts and Michael Quinn in Daniel's story, I think it's time we take a closer look at who these 2 individuals are.
Oh, it goes into who World of T-Shirts is. Okay, well, let's see this. This will be interesting.
Joshua Block, known as World of T-Shirts on social media, rose to fame on TikTok in October 2020. Most of his posts revolved around his life in New York City, becoming closely associated with the city.
I run this city now. Me. This is my city. New York is my city. Yeah. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
Josh even went as far as paying for a billboard in Times Square featuring his dancing and TikTok handle in May 2021. Like Daniel, he became a subject of online...
He bought a billboard, girl? In New York? Okay, yeah, so that's where the vacation money's coming. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. If you could buy a billboard in New York City, come on. There's no way. That's crazy. No one else shocked by the billboard? Because I am.
discussions and was referred to as an AIOPM or a TikTok Lolcow. In recent months, concerns arose about Block's potential struggles with alcoholism as his videos often feature drinking and displays of intoxication. In 2022, he teamed up with fellow TikToker Michael Quinn, who acted as Josh's mentor and helped him establish his NYC tour business. Interestingly, in 2023, Daniel Larson and World of T-Shirts found themselves entangled in a virtual beef, instigated by fans who wanted to see a clash between these two notable figures of TikTok, both coincidentally present in New York City. Fans eagerly attempted to lure Daniel to Josh's location, debating on who would win in a hypothetical fight between the two. Some fans even convinced Daniel to visit Michael Quinn's apartment, sparking a hostile atmosphere between Joshua, Michael, and Daniel.
So he shouldn't be just showing up in my apartment. He walked in like,
that's crazy.
And my daughter calls me and I'm like, someone here, are you alive? I go, I don't have any guests. And I hear his voice in the background. You're Daniel Larson.
Here's what I think is happening. I think Daniel Larson is autistic, so people are trying to tell, they think, oh yeah, he's autistic. We can get him in some trouble. Oh, people won't care if he's autistic. Oh, well.
Multiple videos were made by all parties denouncing any possibility of a meetup. Michael Quinn threatened Daniel with his security force, and in response, Daniel retaliated with TikToks threatening both Josh and Michael. He went as far as claiming that he would call the National Guard and even made a gun threat. Unfortunately, Daniel's gun threat led to the banning of his TikTok account Daniel Larson NYC. Blaming Michael for his financial woes, the ban on his account, and his overall misfortunes, Daniel's anger towards him escalated.
Okay, so I had this wrong. Okay. I thought what happened was... So for those of you who, God bless your souls, have been here the entire time, at first in my timeline, I wrote that Daniel Larson was convinced to make videos about... Did I just open Microsoft Teams? Bro. Okay, there we go. Are we still... Are we still live, besties? I don't know. I just clicked out of it by accident and it stopped for a second. Bye, Maria. Okay, we're good. Okay, so God bless people who've been here the whole time. As I mentioned, I thought what happened was the managers were saying that they need to hate each other. And that's where the beef started. Not... Okay, I need to rewind this a little bit. Also, please like the stream because I didn't say that ever. And that would be very, very nice of you if you liked the stream. Because I didn't even think to do that. So, because right now we only have 42 likes on the stream, but we have 100 people in the stream place. So please do that. Thank you. Continuing the video.
The drama. Upon hearing about Daniel's plans to travel New York City, fans, and surprisingly even Michael himself, expressed their desire for a meetup between the two personalities. On platforms like Reddit and TikTok, many individuals attempted to persuade Daniel to locate Joshua Block and engage in a confrontation. Although neither Daniel nor Joshua seemed interested, their fan bases and Michael Quinn remained invested in the possibility. After Daniel arrived in New York City, trolls attempted to orchestrate an accidental encounter between Daniel
Okay, so I gotta...
and his overall... He went as far as claiming that he would call the National with Mike Quinn, who acted as Josh's mentor and helped him establish his NYC tour business. Interestingly, in 2023, Daniel Larson and World of T-Shirts found themselves entangled in a virtual beef, instigated by fans who wanted to see a clash between these two notable figures of TikTok,
so
both coincidentally present in New York City. Fans eagerly attempted to lure Daniel to Josh's location, debating on who would win in a hypothetical fight between the two. Some fans even convinced Daniel to visit Michael Quinn's apartment, sparking a hostile atmosphere between Joshua, Michael, and Daniel.
So he shouldn't be just showing up in my apartment. He walked in like,
that's crazy.
And my daughter calls me and I'm like, someone here, are you alive? I go, I don't have any guests. And I hear his voice in the background. You're Daniel Larson.
Here's what I think is happening. I think Daniel Larson is autistic, so people are trying to tell, they think, oh yeah, he's autistic. We can get him in some trouble. Oh, people won't care if he's autistic. Oh, well.
Multiple videos were made by all parties denouncing any possibility of a meetup. Michael Quinn threatened Daniel with his security force, and in response, Daniel retaliated with TikToks threatening both Josh and Michael. He went as far as claiming that he would call the National Guard and even made a gun threat. Unfortunately, Daniel's gun threat led to the banning of his TikTok account Daniel Larson NYC. Blaming Michael for his financial woes, the ban on his account, and his overall misfortunes, Daniel's anger towards him escalated, further fueling the drama. Upon hearing about Daniel's plans to travel New York City, fans, and surprisingly even Michael himself, expressed their desire for a meetup between the two personalities. On platforms like Reddit and TikTok, many individuals attempted to persuade Daniel to locate Joshua Block and engage in a confrontation.
Like, he's click like. I like the 2 C's. Anyway, it's imagine the depravity. Because I'm sorry, that's what it is, right? You have to like, oh, there's 2 guys with autism on the platform that are clearly super mentally ill and are a little bit self-destructive. Let's make sure we really ruin their lives by making them fight each other. So, yes, okay. New people have come in. Daniel Larson, and so I'm making a video. Okay, every time I'm doing one of these streams where you're seeing me watch a video, like, it's because we're doing a research stream, right? So we're doing a research stream on World of T-Shirts and Daniel Larson. So World of T-Shirts is a TikToker who makes videos in New York. He is pretty infamous for kind of being a sort of train wreck type. He used to just make silly little videos running around New York, talking about how much he loved the city and stuff. But then what ended up happening was he ended up going to Cancun and started drinking, and then from that point on, pretty much he didn't stop. And now it's so bad that there are TikTok accounts that track his blood alcohol and stuff like that. A light day was 14 drinks for context. And then what ended up happening was he ended up having beef with this other character named Daniel Larson, who is a super sad Lolcow, internet devoid of humanity type figure. And I'm doing a video on essentially how the 2 types coincide with each other. Like, the sort of the focus is World of T-Shirts, but Daniel Larson is involved and is such a huge figure in this whole thing. And these people, like, the Daniel Larson subreddit is top 5% on size on all of Reddit. And World of T-Shirts is also top 5%. Right? So it's really wild. Like, this one has 55.8 thousand people. I joined these for the video, not really because I'm into that whole thing. It's so we're just essentially just kind of looking at like lolcow culture and stuff like that. It's kind of what the focus of this video will be. Matt Rife video coming out much earlier than this, probably like tomorrow or the day after. And then World of T-Shirts will be later this week.
Although neither Daniel nor Joshua seemed interested, their fan bases and Michael Quinn remained invested in the possibility. After Daniel arrived in New York City, trolls attempted to orchestrate an accidental encounter between Daniel and Joshua. They sent Daniel to multiple locations frequented by Joshua, falsely claiming that Grace Vanderwall would be present there. Josh repeatedly expressed on TikTok that he had no interest in meeting Daniel and had to leave establishments when he heard that Daniel might be coming. Following the bodega incidents, Josh uploaded a TikTok video in front of Little India Bodega, the same location where Daniel was assaulted. In the video, Joshua announced that Daniel Larson had been punched in the nose at the bodega and proudly declared himself the ruler of New York City as World of T-Shirts.
I made it in New York. I can make it anywhere. Unlike Daniel, he made it 10 hours and then he got punched in the nose here. He's not a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker. I'm the captain of the ship. I run New York. I run the city. Me. Woo!
In the aftermath of the bodega incident, Daniel sported a noticeable cut across his nose, which he often picked at, resulting in frequent bleeding. Fans humorously suggested that Daniel had entered his anti-Semitic arc after he posted 2 offensive TikTok videos. One featured a song from you-know-who's perspective, while in the other, Daniel hailed the same guy. Additionally, Daniel claimed in a video that Joshua Block was Jewish. He's not Jewish, by the way. This isn't true.
Did you know that World of T-Shirts is a Jew? Well, that explains a lot.
I don't.
Oh, okay. You know what? I never thought I would say this in my life, but like that's like the least bad part of this whole thing. Also, I I don't even know. Speechless. Never mind.
Visuals. On April 11th, Daniel posted several videos on TikTok revealing that he was at the American Dream Mall as discerned by the background in the footage. The following day, April 12th, Daniel shared a YouTube video stating that he had been asked to leave the mall by 20 troopers who escorted him to a train station. In the same video, he can be seen eating pizza and drinking what appears to be beer. Daniel also requested donations, mentioning his financial difficulties. It became evidence that he did not have enough money to cover his expenses. On May 6, 2023, the Flexburger leaks emerged involving Flexburger, Daniel's former manager, who leaked several explicit videos of Daniel as well as an unreleased song. Before delving into the details of the leaked videos, it's important to note that the content is highly sensitive and can be incredibly disturbing and disgusting for many viewers. As a responsible documentarian, I will not be displaying any of the videos and will provide only a brief description, avoiding any unnecessary graphic details. However, it is essential to include these events to provide a comprehensive account of the story. If you prefer to skip the graphic portion of the leaks, please refer to the provided timestamp. Anyways, without further ado, the Flexburger leaks. The pencil incident, which had been rumored for months, was a video of Daniel inserting a pencil into himself while jumping around in a pink room. The video was confirmed to be real after it was uploaded on Reddit on May 6, 2023. Understandably, the comment section was filled with horrified reactions. The shower incident involved a leaked video of Daniel pretending to dry off with a towel, creating the illusion of taking a shower. However, he was already dry in the video, suggesting that he had faked the shower. It was discovered that Daniel had also sent this specific video to someone who appeared to be his mother, Elizabeth Shiner. The context of the situation remains unclear, whether Daniel did it intentionally or accidentally, or if the recipient was genuinely his mom or another person impersonating her, but it still doesn't make the video any less disgusting. In response to receiving the video, Daniel's mother, or at least who we believe to be Daniel's mother, expressed disappointment and questioned his actions, to which Daniel replied with a paragraph of run-on sentences claiming that his phone had been hacked and he had no knowledge of the video. Flexburger also teased the existence of a bottle video on Twitter and hinted at having a goldmine of leaked content, which he released gradually to keep the community entertained. Finally, after a few weeks of anticipation, the bottle video was made public. The nature of the video can be inferred from its title, and it depicted Daniel engaging in explicit behavior with a bottle. You already know what I mean. Furthermore, screenshots emerged allegedly showing Flexburger threatening Daniel with the release of his music.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, right? Is that the managers would coerce him. I don't understand. The thing is, some of these things are in the deep trenches of the internet that, like, I don't think I want to attempt to go through. But it's definitely, like, I'm even losing my train of thought trying to explain this in a way